Good afternoon, good morning, welcome to, well, Thursday's edition, mid-show, midday edition, where we're going to be bringing you a craft along. Craft along, it's going to be bright, it's going to be vibrant, and it's all about our garden gnomes. Or gnomes for the rest of you. That's right, our craft along, it's all about the gnomes, where we give you the opportunity to be crafting along. It's always, well, sometimes for you guys at home, it's a bit of a random. If you've never or not been on our social media, maybe not know who's in on certain days. But today, on the craft along, we have got the one, the only, the beauty in pink is, of course, Debbie Fisher is in the building with me. Hey, Debbie.
Oh, how nice was that? Thank you, Craig. I'm really excited. You know how I love craft along.
You do.
And this one's just going to be so lovely. We like to, I like especially, but I'm sure all our other presenters do, is to have just this really lovely slow pace at your pace, so you can stop us at any point because we're interactive, and we will recap on anything. So if you didn't quite catch something and you want me to go back on it, we can absolutely do that. I think we're the only people out there that do a craft along of this sort where you can actually do that and say, no, stop, I need to recap, and we can go back and we can absolutely do that. But actually, it's a nice simple one. We're going to be making this diorama card slightly different with the middle inset. It's the first time I've sort of incorporated quite early on some of the new dies, but I thought they just worked really well with the framing. If you don't have these frame dies yet, or they've not been delivered to you, please don't worry, because normal nesting dies will do just the trick as well. So you know you'll be able to do them. But I'll be showing you how we create those apertures, that middle section. We're going to be doing a bit of colouring and making just this really fun gnome card.
Absolutely beautiful, love that one. As we tend to say as well, of course you can follow along exactly what Debbie's doing. You might want to mix it up, that's entirely up to you. But if you do want to make exactly what Debbie's going to be doing, Debbie, please tell me, what do we need?
Yeah, we have this lovely little shopping list for you, which is going to tell us exactly what we need. So it's the Nature's Garden, obviously, the garden gnomes. You're going to need the gnome girl and the gnome boy. That's the stamp and die set. We're going to be using the gnome swing stamp and die set. We're also going to be using, there's no one like you stamp set. There's gnome one like you. The 12 by 12 paper pad, some A4 our multi-purpose cardstock, the 12 by 12 brights textured cardstock, some Nina cardstock, some scalloped edge rectangle nesting frames, which are those new ones, but you can use any nesting frames. And I have put inverted stitch lace circle dies. I forgot to bring mine with me, so I'm hoping Tracy's going to find them for me, but if not, it really doesn't matter. It's just that we're going to stamp our sentiment into that. You do need a few additional items as well, which is what you'll find in your crafty stash, and that is your Gemini machine, your guillotine, a craft knife and a ruler, your choice of glue. So we're using tape pens, we're also using tacky glue, but if you've got red liner, any glue will be fine. We need foam pads, some dry blend markers, some glossy highlights and just some nice glitter, ribbon and gems, and water reactive ink pads. We're going to be using fuchsia, parakeet and alcohol proof black ink pad as well. And there we go, that's all you're going to need.
Fabulous, thank you so much for that one, Debbie. So I'll give you a few moments to grab your bits and pieces together. What I do want to say as well, before we go over this collection in a moment, which of course, if you're going to be crafting along right now, it means you've got the collection. If you've not got it, don't worry, don't fear. Today's the opportunity to get your hands on the full collection. And I mean full collection. And then what you can do is you can come back and watch Debbie once you've got your collection. Of course, we're not going to be live. However, it just means then you can pause and then you can reverse and you can do it at your own speed. So, also want you to do is check out your email. Go into your email, check out your newsletter where we have got a peel and reveal where you're going to get 10% off as well. So 10% top of your Club Inspire. Now it is one use per customer and it is going to end at 11:59 tonight, or wherever you are across the world. So just at the end of the day, it is only for today only, so make sure you make use of that one. You can't use it within your summer season sale. It is just on your full items, but you can get your gnome collection for that Right, here we go. Here is the details for your full Gnome collection. This is, of course, the Garden Gnome collection, where you're going to be getting stamps, dies, stencils, paper pad, and more. Everyone today, if you're not in Club Inspire, is going to be paying $66.99 or $82.85. You're going to save 20%. If you are Club Inspire, you're going to be paying at a platinum price £53.59 or $66.28. What I want to say as well is if you are not in Club Inspire, head across to our website. It is free to join, and within your first order, you're going to save 20%, which means on your very first order, if you go for this one, you're going to get it at the platinum price. Win-win. Every time you buy, you're going to get points, and then the more points, the more discount you get. Simple as that. We'll tell you all about it later on through one of our videos with Sarah, but it is simply beneficial to be in Club Inspire. Right, let's have a look now at this collection here. Let's look at the 12 by 12 paper pads. Just to say as well, get your comments in, any questions, anything you want to ask, double check with Debbie, get them through, of course, whether it is Facebook or YouTube. We've got Caitlin on the socials this afternoon here in the UK. Whoop, whoop. So anything, just get your comments in and we'll certainly read them out for sure. But here we go. This is starting off your collection of your 12 by 12 papers. You've got 36 sheets in total. These are 180 GSM and they're double-sided. Straight off the bat, look at the beautiful colour tones. You've got a lot of pastels, but then you've got a lot of bright fuchsias as well, and even some bright yellows, or honeypot, if you want to refer back to our Harmony ink pads. Some of them that you can see here are a full busy design. On the opposite side, you can see on this one here, we've got the polka dots, but all in different colours. So if you love a busy design, brilliant. If you want to go for a more subtle, quieter effect, then absolutely perfect as well. If you're going to do your tea bag fold-in or your fold-overs, maybe you've got Jamie's dies, he's going to be coming up in a couple of hours, then you can then use your paper pads for these ones because it is the full-back dies. But we can see from these ones here, certainly this one, of course use it as a 12 by 12, but this is a really good one to cut into, cut strips out of, you know, if you just want a border, if you just want to have that little accent border strip at the edge of your card or project, you can absolutely do that. Same goes for the opposite side as well. But then if we carry on going in with the double-sided here, you've got many of them that are going to work in conjunction with this collection. What I mean by that is with the toadstools, where we've got the toadstool or the campervan toadstool stamp, but many of these you're going to be able to use within your daily crafting too. Maybe you've got some of our flower dies you want to start to use and incorporate these ones, you can do. Cut little bits out, use full 12 by 12 if you want to. That's entirely up to you. This one here, I said within Wake Up Call, it just reminds me of a summer snowball fight. We've got the snowballs there, but with that bright fuchsia hitting that backdrop, also being double-sided all the way through. And as we get to the last few pages, a little bit more of a bigger, deeper patterned gingham. But then if I go on to the opposite side, we've got our yellow, so checkered gingham, whichever one you want to call it. You've got that one as well. These are all matte, so you can add extra colour to them, whether it is your inks, your distress inks, anything like that. You can do. Then towards the back of the page, what we've got are these. Now these ones here, what you're going to do is you're going to chop them up within the middle and down the centre. That's going to give you 4 ready to go scenes. So maybe you're not really in a colouring creative mood as to creating backgrounds or creating scenes. Already done for you. You just need to chop these ones out, pop them onto 6 by 6. You can go 7 by 7, 8 by 8, card blank if you want. They're all done for you. All you need to do is get creative with your stamps, with your dies, and that is it. All done, all come included at the back of your sheets. That's just your paper pad. So we're going to then quickly speed along now and go through the remaining items. These ones here is your embossing folder with the stencils. If you want to see how that one's being used, go back afterwards and check out Wake Up Call, where Debbie done a demonstration with these ones. Then we've got our sentiment. Some really useful generic happy birthday sentiment, but a really good play on the words as well when it comes to the gnomes, such as Home Sweet Gnome. Then we're going to go into our scene building, our stamp and dies. Got the little caravan, it's in the design of a toadstool. Colour it whichever way you want, but you've got all your detailed dies as well. Not just the outline of the caravan, you've got the moon, you've got the clouds, some of the flowers as well. This is where we're going to go into the swings. What you will notice, you'll have seen it within Wake Up Call, if you've seen Wake Up Call, and...
That's really tickled me, with no one on the swings and just the hands and the feet.
Or there's Gnome one on the swings, just the hands and the feet. It's like the Invisible Man, isn't it?
I know, it's really funny.
Swinging there on the swing. But to point that one out, what you're going to find is your gnomes, you're not going to find your hands or your feet on the gnomes. We'll show you in a minute. They're all there worked in with the designs of the stamping dies. So within the swing set here, you've got the swing stamp, but what you've got is the hands, you've got that banner as well as the feet. We're going to go into the embellishment sort of stamping dies here. So we've got the wooden sign, we've got the picnic basket, flowers, we've got the pond as well as the wheelbarrow. These are where you're going to start to set the scene. You're going to bring your man gnome in, this one being the man gnome. So you've got the stamps, you've got the dies, so you have got your fishing rod, you've got your barbecue, you've then got your skewer with the marshmallow on it, as well as a few others. Then what you've got is a stencil. So what that's going to enable you to do, first and foremost, colour in your gnome, and then you've got 3 different outfits for the gnome. So you've got the body as well as the hat, so you can then get creative, be your own designer for your gnome if you so wish. You've got the man, and of course you've got the girl. So in exactly the same concept, so you can stamp and colour the girl gnome, die cut her out with the dies that come included, but then what you've got is your stencil with 3 different outfits. So you could, if you wanted to, have the body in one design, the hat in the other. Of course, you've got one for each, but you can mix and match if you want to. The girl gnome has got the flower pot, it's got what could be wings as well for the back of her, the fire pit, which of course you can cross over with the boy gnome as well if you so wish. That is everything, the complete collection. Pointing out as well, that's still including the paper pad. Not always do we bring back a collection where the paper pad is still included. It is with this one. It launched back on the 19th of May, so many of you got it then. If you didn't, now's the opportunity. $66.99 or $82.85. That was the original price. That is the price actually that everyone would pay if you're not Club Inspire. Club Inspire though, platinum price $53.59 or $66.28. So that's what you're going to be paying. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Before we head across to Debbie, fortunately we were meant to have Emma crafting along with us, but those pesky gremlins in the system is just stopping her from coming through. So she is going to be crafting along at home. She's going to send a picture in, and then I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get Emma back for a future craft along, that's for sure. It'd be lovely if we could see her. So can't wait to see what you make, Emma. Can't wait to see what you're making at home as well. Me and Debbie are going to be back later on for cartloads, so it'll be good to see pictures then as well. But until then, in the meantime, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to relax, I'm not going to do much talking until needed, and we're going to be, well, not we, you guys, Debbie, are going to be crafting along.
Absolutely, yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is take 2 pieces of A4 cardstock. We're not going to alter this too much because we're going to be doing quite a big card to fit in those aperture dies. So what I'm going to do is trim these down. Now, these are A4 in size, so if you're in the US and you have obviously different sizes, the size we need, which is the size of our A4 cardstock, is our 8 1/4. So our A4 goes to 8 1/4, and then we're going to turn it round and trim this to 11.5 inches, which is not far off what it actually is. So it's just a small piece that we're taking off of that centre piece. Now, if you don't have the big guillotine to trim it down, you can use a craft knife and ruler, and we're just going to trim that little bit off the end. Okay, so that's making it 11.5 inches by 8 1/4, and we're going to do that on 2 pieces. So that's our first piece. So taking our next piece, we know we've got our 8 1/4. Going to turn that round, and we're going to trim that down to 11.5 inches. So that gives us our 2 pieces of card. Okay, so just while you're doing that, and anybody that's using their ruler and craft knife, I'm just going to recap 2 pieces of card going across at 11.5 inches and down the side at 8 1/4 inches. inches. Okay, so that's just 2 pieces. And then we're going to take our third piece, so exactly the same A4 piece of cardstock. This one we're going to do to 8 1/4, so remember that's our 8 1/4 already going across. And this one we're going to trim down to 10 1/2 inches. So 10 1/2 inches in your guillotine and trim that down, okay? So we've got our 2 pieces and then our 1 piece at 8 1/4 and 10 1/2 inches.
Okay.
Right, so we're gonna just take one of our pieces and we're gonna put our guillotine away for now. So let's just pop that inside. And then we're gonna bring in our scoreboard. So bringing in that scoreboard, get rid of my workings here. And then we're just going to do a little bit of scoring here. So nice and simple, we're going to come in at 2 inches and 2 1/2 inches. So 2 inches. I always do it a couple of times because it just stretches the fibre of the cardstock. And then we're going to go in at 2 1/2. So we're just using just that little 1/2 inch. So 2 inches and 2 1/2 inches. Turn that round and we're going to do the same on the other side. So come in at 2 inches. And 2 1/2 inches. And then we're going to repeat that on our biggest piece of card again. So remember, we've got our 2 pieces of card, 11 1/2 inches across, and we're going to come in at 2 inches and 2 1/2 inches. I like doing simple measurements on cards, Craig, because it just keeps it all really just simple and not too confusing.
It does, doesn't it?
And the mats and layers then aren't too bad. I mean, it's sometimes nice to go a bit extravagant, but sometimes it's nice to pull it back and just do those more simple designs.
Absolutely.
So that's all our pieces of cards done. So let's pop our scoreboard to the side. So what we've got here, we've got a middle section, which is what's going to go on the inside, and we've got our top and bottom. So what we want to do now is we want to fold our lines that we've done. So the top one, I want to fold the second line in and fold that over. So we're creating that mountain valley card. It doesn't matter which way you do it because you can always rectify afterwards if you've got the opposite way. Because each piece goes a different way. So what you should have is this piece where you've got that step up onto the top, which is going to create the front, okay? So again, turn that over, second line in, we're just going to make sure that we burnish that line, and then, and also, and I think I've said this before, with our cardstock here, when you're folding on itself, just use your fingers to sort of give it a little bit of sort of fold inside, and then you'll get the perfect crease. Okay. Okay, now you want that, so that could be the bottom of your card, okay, but we're just using that as our top, so turning it round and you can see it goes across. So the next piece of card, we're going to do it the opposite way. So, and I mean opposite way is in now we want to fold down, so we're going to fold down for our card and back on itself. So in fact, exactly the same way, because then all we're going to do is reverse it. So then that one over, and then folding that back on itself. So we're just following those lines. Okay, then that way we leave that one flat there, and then the one that we've just done that goes over the top creates that piece there, so you can see they will go perfectly together. Okay.
I always think that it's so pleasing on the eye, Debbie, when you see this done.
Yeah, absolutely. And if yours doesn't match, that is user error, if you like, because that's you not maybe lining it up properly or getting the perfect. But if you've done those perfect lines, you will get that perfect card shape. But what we do want to do, this piece in the middle will sit inside. Can you see when we pop that in? That will then fit on each side of your card, and that will give you that mid-section. But what we want to do is now to make those apertures. So we're going to take the top piece and pop those to the side, and then we're going to have this piece here. Now, what we're going to do now, I'll do one more piece and then we'll pass you back to Craig, just so we can let people catch up and get to this stage. Now, I'm taking 2 pieces of card from our textured cardstock. I've used my bright pink paper here, and then from one of the sheets from the Gnome collection, we've used that lovely double-sided. Doesn't matter which side you use. I want to use one sort of more pattern side, because when we come to doing our our gnome girl, I want to actually stamp onto this pattern paper to coordinate with our pattern paper that side.
Brilliant.
We're going to do a little bit of sort of what I class as old-fashioned paper piecing, where we stamp and snip out. Craig will like this bit. I might even pass him it to snip it out for me.
I'll do that.
He's good, yeah, he's good with snipping out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our plain piece of card, and the measurements for that we're going to cut to 6 1/4 inch by 8 inches. So let's get our guillotine out and let's trim those pieces down. Oh, need my stepper.
Matches your top, Debbie.
It does match my top really well, and my nails. They're very pink today. So we're going to go 8 1/4. Let me find where we are. 8 1/4. And just trim that one down. And then we're going to go across the bottom, and this one is by 6. Sorry, I did say the measurements earlier, you're probably screaming at me. It's 8 inches by 6 1/4, so apologies for that. Good job I didn't do it too short. So that's 8 inches, and then that's 6 1/4. So 6 1/4 inch down there. Now, why we've still got this piece that's just come off, because what I want to do is some side panels as well, so that one's going to fit perfectly. We're just going to cut this one to 1 3/4 inch. So 1 3/4, and then we're going to put the other one at 1 3/4. So that gives us our 2 panels, okay? So let's just bring this in, and then you'll be able to see. So we've got our 2 panels for the side, so perfect measurements. So they are 1 3/4 by 8.
Perfect.
And then this one is 8 inches by 6 1/4. So that gives us those mats and layers. And then what I'll do, just to finish this section, we're just going to do our mats and layers to go over the top of these. I'm only doing a pink one for this one. We're going to put green ones on the other side. So we're just going to do that midsection. Now, because this was 8 inches, we're going to do this now 8 1/4 inches. So 8 1/4, and then this time we're going to come in, turn that round, and we want that to be let me just make sure I've got this right. Oh, sorry, done it again. I've added on the extra. It's 7 3/4. The last one was 8 inches, wasn't it? Dearie me. So 7 3/4 inch, sorry, that's it. And then this time, instead of 6 1/4, we're going to go 6 inches. So 6 inches for that one. And let's pop that to the side, and then you'll be able to see that our mats and layers will be perfect for that one over the top. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now, Craig, just for you to recap, just so people can catch up, get those measurements done, and this is where you should be at. And then our next thing is to stick them down and to add our side panels on. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that one, Debbie. We're going to have a look at Aqua blends in a moment. We're just wait to have a look at the comments first. Any questions? If you're stuck on anything, get the comments in, and we'll see where we can help you out for sure. Very self-explanatory as well, which was great from Debbie. Comments are just along the bottom, just there. Just to say as well, when Debbie was going over the measurements, I always remember, Debbie, when it comes to prepping demos, so that many of you know as well, Dawn Bibby, she'd always said, I used to try and prep my demos well in advance. She always used to say to me, try not do that, because you'll forget what you were going to do, or your measurements come near the time. And she was right enough. Yeah. If I did prep well in advance, I would get to the day and I'd be like, what was I going to do? What was my measurements? What was the style again?
Oh,
it's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, you do have to recap this morning.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've done mine about over a week ago, and I've had to recap on the messages this morning, and even then, my notes that I write, I then have to think, oh, I should have wrote it this way, and then I add it on. So it's always good to recap and not to do it too thoroughly.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Rightio, who have we got? We've got Alison is saying good afternoon, everyone. Carletta is saying hello, everyone. Charlotte is saying hello, Debbie and Craig. Hello to you too. Mary is saying, what a lovely and cheerful card, Debbie. That was Debbie showing the craft along project that you're going to be making.
It is a lovely cheerful card. I love it. Yeah,
it really is. It's got Debbie written all over it. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really does. Barbara is saying, saving the show to craft later on. Brilliant. That's
fabulous.
That's what we're here for. Yeah, great if you can craft along live with us, but if not, everything is there on YouTube for you to go back to. Sarah Brown is saying, hello, my crafty peeps, sending crafty hugs your way from Melbourne, Australia. Hoping you're all well. I'm well. Debbie, are you well?
I'm very well, yes.
Good, good, good. Johnny, are you well? George, are you well? Yeah, Caitlin, are you well? Let us know if you're well. Talking about that, Caitlin's just said, can you do a whoop whoop again?
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Whoop. We're all in the house. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. There we go.
Like an alarm, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. Yeah, it's got that one in. Hey, got that one in. There we go. More than Caitlin bargained for, that's for sure. Sarah Brown is saying, hello. It's the same one, isn't it? Oh, you're in the comments today, Sarah. You're just now saying, hello, my friends Debbie and Craig. We'll be watching the show from my bed. It's 11 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. Love watching you both. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Sarah, for staying awake yesterday. She actually stayed awake and didn't doze off for our shows yesterday,
yeah.
which she did warn us she might do.
She might do, yeah. Well, it's lovely to see you as well. And as I always say, and I know it's not funny anymore, it's kind of like my fuchsia joke with the ink pad. Sarah, don't tell us what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. So yeah, you're into Friday already. Mary saying, love the gnomes. Hope to add this collection to my collection. Get your hands on, get your hand solo. Get your hands on it. Just get your hands on it. Get your horns on it. Gilmore is saying, hello, Craig, Debbie, Caitlin, Team Social, Crafter CC team, and crafty peeps. What a cute craft along project. Going to try this out later on. Glad to hear. Kimmy Moore is saying, I adore gnomes and just ordered this collection. So excited. They look adorable. Barbara is saying, summer snowball fight. Oh yeah, just going by that paper pad. Sandra Dundas is saying, hee hee, found my stash of shrink plastic. Think I feel some gnome earrings coming up.
Oh my goodness, how cool would that be?
Really
I
good.
even want to now get myself some shrink plastic.
So
I haven't had them for a long time. How cool would that be?
Cool. If only I could have a couple of months off.
If only, Craig.
If only. A couple more for now. Eleanor is saying, Crafters TV, hope you're having a lovely day today. And that goes for everyone behind the cameras. Isn't that lovely?
That is lovely.
Really, really lovely. And Lenny Jones is saying, hello, lovelies. I have rejigged my home office so that I can have my crafty laptop next to my work laptop so I can watch along, albeit quietly, whilst I work,
that's nice.
but won't miss out anymore. Isn't it? What's lovely as well is, yes, seeing you guys interacting with us with the comments or just let us know you're watching, but how many of you that now work from home and you rejig either your office or your craft room so you can have us on at the side as well.
Yep.
Laptop, TV, whichever way. Always lovely to see. Keep your comments coming in. Still got loads to go through that we will go. Caitlin says, I am well, and that was a good whoop whoop. Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, still some more coming through. So we'll go back to them in a moment. But let's have a look at Aqua blends. So if you've never tried our Aqua blends, now, this is a new configuration of colour. So it's the same tins. Let me get that right, Johnny, yeah? Same colours, new tins, so different configuration. So if you've already got our Aqua Blend pencils, you will already have these ones. It's very similar. Remember our sparkle pens? Remember when we reconfigured the colours? So it's the same colours from our sparkle pen range. We just put them kind of like in families together. Here we go. We've got our portrait collection. Now our Aqua Blend pencils, this is where you're going to get 96 pencils. Today's price being $74.97 or $89.95. You are, if you are platinum, going to be paying £59.98 or $71.96. Check your emails for your peel and reveal code. You will then be able to get an extra 10% off. But as it works out with this collection here, it works out you're buying 3 and you're getting 1 of them for free. So you've got your essentials, you have got your landscapes, you've got your botanical, and you have got your portrait collection. So these aren't new colours, it's just a reconfiguration when it comes to the tins. Aqua Blend pencils being water-based, I adore my colour blend pencils. Absolutely beautiful to use, whether you're going in direct, but then you're going to maybe scribble on a bit of watercolour card, or you're going direct to your stamp image, pulling out the colour, drawing out that colour, whether it's a paintbrush and water, whether it is a water brush, or of course a clear sparkle overlay. Absolutely beautiful. These, in this collection here, Debbie, this really is a fab collection with these, isn't it?
I love my Aqua pencils, yeah. And in fact, they're ones that don't come out as often as what they should do, but I hope we have shows with them soon to show exactly how we do them, because they are beautiful pencils to work with. What I also love about the Aqua pencils is there is so many different techniques that you can use with them, whether you colour directly to your actual picture and then water them down, whether you scribble onto a pad and make yourself a colour palette, whether you use shavings off of them to create that confetti
brilliant
look.
Technique, isn't it?
Yeah, there is just so many. But what I love about them is creating a picture. Let's say you've got a landscape picture, just scribble your pencils with them, give them to your kids while they're in the car, and just get a water pen that holds water in the pen, and it's like magic. It comes to life. They can just paint themselves and there's no mess. It's amazing. So yeah,
really
they're beautiful to have. If you've not tried them before, getting a whole tin for free is incredible value.
It really is. You know, you're getting that whole tin, as you were saying there, Debbie. These ones here, go onto our YouTube, just type in Aqua Blends on the Crafters TV search. You're going to find these in lots of shows over the last, well, couple of years. What I would say, just a reminder as well, they're not new colours, it's just a new configuration. So if you've got all your Aqua Blend pencils, you will have these ones. You don't know, you maybe want to treat someone that you know to get into a bit of watercolour in, but you have got your new configuration. So this is the looks that you're going to be getting with the 4 of them. Debbie was saying, yeah, it works out that you're going to get 1 tin for free. So you're buying 3, you're getting 1 for free. $74.97, $89.95. Platinum price is going to be $59.98 or $71.96. Incidentally as well, if you choose to join Club Inspire, hopefully you do, and if actually you want these to be your first order, where you're going to save 20%, you'll get these at that platinum price. So whatever your first order is, you'll get 20% off. Right, there's no other than Pam saying, good morning, Debbie and Craig, what's going on with all the whooping? I think we're just excited. We're just excited. Yeah.
We shouldn't be excited. I have to say I'm very sad today because our Craig goes away from today, so it's very sad for Crafters TV. But he's not going forever, so yeah. So whoop whoop to hurry on back.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, I'll be counting down the days to get back here as well. Yeah, just going. Anyone that's just joining us or that, just going in for an operation. I just need a little bit of time out. But yeah, I'll be back. All go well. Fingers crossed in September. And as Johnny says, as far as the whooping, what Caitlin says, we do. She says jump, we jump. Rightio, here we go. So no questions about our craft along as such, Debbie, which means everyone must be ready to go with the next step.
Absolutely, which is fabulous. So we've got our card front ready, we've got our panels, we've got our pink papers on top. Now we're going to use our green pattern papers. And also remember, if you are crafting along and you haven't got the specifics yet, what we are using, you can use whatever paper pads you want or anything that you want in your stash to do this card. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make those side panels and bring in those pinks with the greens. We're going to trim this to 7 inches by 1.5. So I'm actually going to do my 1.5 inches first by cutting it at 3 inches. So I'm going to cut to 3 inches. Just like so, just so I can save my paper more than anything else. And then I'm going to trim that strip down to 7 3/4. So 7 3/4, trim that down, and then all we then need to do is trim this at half at 1.5 inches, and that gives us our 2 panels. Okay, so what you will end up with is 2 panels at 7 3/4 inches by 1.5. So let's got all our panels there. We'll pop that to the side, and then we'll start to affix all of our panels onto that front one. So these ones then will fit directly into here. Now, because we've got them at hand, I am going to bring in my fuchsia ink pads because I do like to sort of tie in around the edges. So what we are going to do, I'm just going to grab myself a pink dauber. So let's have that one. And this one.
Definitely one of those cards projects that makes you smile with the colours.
Yeah, absolutely. And pinks and greens are really my colours. I have to be very careful because I would end up doing all my makes in pinks and greens. It's definitely, colours that they make me happy, make me smile. I'm definitely a pink girl. No two ways about that. So just bringing that all in. And again, this is just about being creative. Some people might not be worried about using inks around the side. I just like to have that added detail, draws your eye in. It's what makes your card stand out. It's also what gives it that designer look as well. Just having that central point that we can pop on there. And I'm going to do the same with the greens as well, because we've got pinks in there. I'm just going to tie that in by putting some extra around the edges. Just a really nice thing to do.
Okey-doke.
And I think if you've got inks, Craig, it's just a shame not to use them.
You're right.
You know, you don't have to think about using them just on normal white cardstock. I love the fact that most of our paper pads are non-coated.
Exactly.
So we can put all these different techniques. I mean, if you really wanted to go to town as well, you could actually use your pigment ink pads and emboss them with clear embossing powder around the edges. And it'll give you that shiny border all the way around, which would be amazing. But, and that is something that I would usually do, but just time with a craft along, we like to make sure that we've got plenty of time to fit everything in. And we have got some colouring to do today. So we're hoping to spend this first part of the craft along making the actual card, and then we can decorate. So all we're going to do now is stick all these components together. I'm just using my tape pen. If you don't want to use your tape pen on that, you prefer just to use your wet glue, obviously feel free to do so. So the choice is yours. So just popping that central into that middle border, and then we're going to do the same with all our other pieces. This is the shame of double-sided, isn't it? Because you end up using one side that you might not want to, but that's the joy. You
end up
at least
fighting
you
with
get the
yourself.
option. Yeah, option to choose. So that's that one, and then our last one here.
And with this style as well, this is one of those where, you know, when the recipient receives it, and, you know, they'd be forgiven for thinking that maybe you bought it at a handmade store or that, but you'll be able to say, I made that. I made that.
Yes, absolutely.
The layout, the design, the concept of the card. They're not to know that, you know, you've got the tools of a scoring board and that, the actual concept of the card. You've done it yourself. They're not going to know that. You've handmade it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to pop that on there. And then I'm going to do a few just strips going across here because we want to cut out some of the centre. So I want to make sure that that's properly stuck to our centre point. And we're just going to pop that right in the centre. And then we're going to pop our side pieces on. So, I mean, you could just, if you just wanted to do a card like that with the front down, decorate the front, you could absolutely do that. So it's never about, there's no knowing when to stop sometimes because there's so many different avenues you can take a card down.
Yeah.
Now, if you do have nesting dies and not the nesting frames that we're going to use, you can easily just die cut one of those frames directly into the front. I'm not doing that because I wanted to show for when people start getting their nesting dies how to create apertures with them because they're not the same as normal nesting dies. No. So once we've got that part, I'm going to take those nesting dies, I've popped them somewhere, here we go.
It's nice that you're including them within this craft along. Yeah. You know, probably it's before most of you are receiving these ones.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've got something straight off the bat, come along, do the craft along, and you're going to be using these nesting dies too. Yeah,
totally. Now, if you had a normal nesting die, what you would do is use your nesting die this smaller nesting die, you would then die cut it through there. You would then die cut 2 of your frames together to put around the top. Because these are nesting frames, if I was to pop that into there, it would die cut that whole thing out, and I then have nothing to put that frame back into. Now, if I wanted to, I could do that and then use a piece of acetate and do that. But actually, because I want that to look through, I don't want to do it that way. So we're going to do it different. So we're going to take a piece of white card, and we're going to use our 2 biggest sort of the 2 largest frames that you've got.
Okay.
Oh, that's not a die there. There we go. And we're just going to pop these through our Gemini. So die cut 2 of those frames. If you do have nesting dies and you're not using the nesting frames because you're actually crafting along, all you would do is use the inside part that you're using before you make your frame. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to just pop that there, and I'm just going to tape them down just to make sure they're held in place.
It's a nice way to use them in conjunction with the gnomes.
Yeah, absolutely. And what it does do, Craig, you're right, is it shows that everything just mixes and matches, and you can use all those things together. So let's pop that through. So yeah, just tie up 2 frames. So if you're using nesting dies, create a frame by using 2 nesting dies together, and that will give you that frame. Obviously, these nesting dies, that's the whole use of them. You can still purchase them as well, so go and have a look on the website if you do want to get them.
You can do indeed.
So let's pull these ones out. And
I know this craft along is about the gnomes, Debbie, but you know, you using these frames here, what these do as well, which you'll see just in a moment, it's not just 3 die frames that you actually get the inner delicate frames as well. When you use them together.
Which is so clever.
Useful.
And I have to say that I got that idea from you, Craig, because I watched you on Hobby Maker and see the same thing. Yeah, so, and it was the same. So if you was to put the other smaller one through, I see small, and you got the other smaller die, pop that through the middle, it's this frame here. You get another outer frame to be able to put on there. So really great way to use them is to layer them all up. So we can pop them to the sides. And then what we're going to do, we're going to stick the first largest one, we're going to actually stick that on top. So this is going to go here. We're going to make sure that we do it as central as possible. If you were really very fussy about having the exact amount, then you could measure it with a ruler and it would be fine. I just do it by eye because I think you can normally sort of see what's quite straight. And when you've applied your embellishments, even if it's a few millimetres out, you're not going to notice that at all. So all we're going to do is put this directly onto the front. Just like so. That looks about straight. I'm going to look up and see in there. Yes, that will do nicely.
And against the fuchsia, the brightness, how vibrant does that white look?
Yeah, it looks lovely,
multi-purpose, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves, I'm hoping, I didn't check actually if we had one here. I'm looking for a craft knife. There it is.
I was just waiting to say to you, wait to see it. If everything we've got there, bet you there's no craft knife.
Right, now I'm taking a regular craft knife. We do rulers as well. So, so the other day I was doing this. If you use your die, let me bring the die back in. You could cut your die onto there and then it would be metal to metal, which is a really good way of doing it, yes. Yeah. But what happens then is you don't get it cut right to the edge of your white. I want this cut right to the edge of my white. So our rulers have that metal frame on them. All you need to do is butt your knife first of all up until that point because it won't go no further. Then hold your ruler along there and then you can take it right down to the centre. Now I'm just doing that really lightly. I'm not putting any pressure on. I'm just doing a few even strokes. So what I would say, don't go in with a really heavy hand and try and do the whole thing. Because what you could do, especially if your knife maybe, you see I can now feel that that's gone down onto the glass mat. So if I pop that just in there. You can see it's cut
yeah.
right through the back there. Okay, and you can't. There's no feathering of the card, buckling, and that's because I'm doing it very lightly to start with. So it's almost like scoring the cards. So again, go across so it's hitting that die. Then put your ruler against it, and then you can line that all the way down. And again, I'm just sort of stroking that top of that card, and just until it's cutting through all those layers. Don't go through with a heavy hand because it's very easy to sort of nick them.
Yeah.
You can always go back after, so I can see I've not gone fully through that one. So you can always sort of go through, and then I can feel that has gone through now. And I just want to make sure I catch those side pieces.
And as you say, if you go too heavy-handed at first, there's a tendency that you'll snap off the tip of your craft knife.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got our two, so I turn that over, you can see we're getting that beautiful mark there, and it's just another way of how you can cut that aperture out with actually not having an aperture die. Now, I haven't tried it, but you might find that you have an aperture die that will work in these dies.
Matte and layer dies.
Yeah, so just have a measure. Oh yes, your matte and layer dies, yes. They were your idea, those ones, weren't they, Craig?
Yeah, I popped them forward to the product development, and they work really, really well with these ones in conjunction with them.
So it's just that last bit, because remember, we are asking this to go through 1, 2, 3 pieces of cardstock. Doesn't seem to want to catch that last bit at the bottom, so I'm just going to push that bit off.
So whether it's the craft knife or whether it's your scoreboard, the concept that you do is exactly the same, Debbie. It's lightly and then a few times.
Yes.
So between stretching the fibre of the cardstock and then just slowly getting that craft knife to go through it layer after layer, both of which will stop that feathering of your cardstock, and with the scoring it'll stop that splitting as well.
Absolutely. And just get that really nice cut all the way around. So I think just those corners. There and there.
What I would say is, well, if you're not getting into the corners first time round, it happens to me as well, all the time.
It is always
the
corners.
It's always the corners. So it's not as if you're lining it up wrong or there's something wrong with your craft, nothing like that. It's just nature of the beast, the way the corners is. When I do anything such as what Debbie's doing now, I never get the corners meeting on first time round. I always have to go back in and just enhance that slightly. So
Absolutely.
just to let you know.
But look how neat that is.
Isn't
you
it?
get that beautiful cut right the way through, and it's just quite easy to do rather than have to go and buy other dies or do anything. So you cut that out of the centre piece. Right, so that's that bit done. Let's do the middle section,
okay.
And then we can have a little break and let you catch up from
Sounds
that.
good to me.
So what you need to do with the middle section is obviously you need to line that up first, but what we want to do is also do the same thing where we bring in a different piece of card. So this time I'm going to bring a yellow piece in. It's what I love about this paper pad, Craig. Look at all these colours we're using with the pinks, the greens, the yellows. Everything follows through because we've got the greens in here, we've got the pinks in here. Everything matches in this paper pad, and I just love the different florals that we've got. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure this one, so we need to cut our coloured papers, and we need to do this one into 8 by 6 1/4.
Okay.
So we're going to trim this one down. So let's bring in our guillotine.
So with this one as well, I would say your large guillotine is going to be your best friend for this craft log project.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a large guillotine, like I said before, as long as you've got a craft mat and a ruler, you can use your craft knife then to go down. But if you, so this is 8 inches, sorry, just to recap. If you don't, then a large guillotine's, absolutely best. I don't know what I'd do without my large guillotine,
I'm the
in all
same.
honesty.
I'm exactly the same.
And then we're going to do 6 1/4. So 8 inches by 6 1/4. Okay. Let's pop that under there. And then we're going to bring that middle section in.
Okay.
So this piece is, have I cut that right? Have I got the wrong piece, haven't I? No, I haven't.
Oh.
Well, that's my measurements that I've wrote down, Craig. What am I doing? Let me just double check. 8 and 6 1/4.
You were prepping in advance, that's what it was. We're getting all organised with these ones here. You find with these ones, I think, the way that the card project that Debbie's designed this one, you know, we always say we've always got slithers left over, we've always got that scrap box. But how many, if I actually take this one here, how many have got pieces of your 12 by 12?
I've done it 9, that's
left
why.
over? Is that what
I
it
said the
was?
right measurements, but I didn't cut it the right
didn't cut
measurements.
it.
No, so
It helps.
8 inches.
There you go. But yeah, you would have pieces like that. This is a good craft along to use up these bigger pieces that you've got left over.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do here as well, because what we've done is scored in our last line at 2.5 inches, I'm going to bring my scoreboard in, and then what we're going to do is make those scores at 2 inches, because if we pop this here, we want to take that 1/2 inch off.
Okay,
so
yeah.
what I'm going to do is just come in at 2 inches on the top there. We're going to turn it over and just score at 2 inches, just a little notch. If you want to put a little pencil line, you can do that. And the only reason I want that done is because I want to make sure that my papers go between those 2 notches, so I can see just
Check
there.
you out.
I know. So you've got your notch on each side. That's central now to the
Perfect.
panel of my card, okay? So we're going to attach that, and then we're going to do exactly the same. How cute is that paper with
Isn't
them
it?
on? So lovely. Seems such a shame to not use that side, but there's plenty of papers
really
in the
is.
paper pad. Yeah, which is lovely. And again, I'm just putting a few strips down to make sure that that's all covered. And then we're going to pop that on our 2 notches. So I'm just going to make sure I can see them. If I put them on a line, then I know exactly where I'm at. There we go.
The thing is, we know our crafters all too well now, Debbie. There's very few of you that just buy the collection and that's it. So many of you buy the collection and an extra paper pad or an extra 2. Sometimes it's 3 or 4. So for you guys, you're always going to have that extra cardstock.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And if you don't want to use the patterns from this throughout, because you're not going to see too much of these ones, you can always use some other paper pads that you're not too worried about not seeing much of them. And then we're going to do the same. This time we've got our smaller one, but what I want to do first is we want to make sure we're getting that in the right place. So fold up your front edges here, and then what we're going to do is place them onto where they're going to go. And then you can exactly see where your middle section needs to go. Okay. So while I've got that into place, we're just going to hold that, position that into place onto there. And then we're going to glue this one. I'm going to move that to the side just so you can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
And then we're going to glue this one into place all the way around. And then we can glue that centrally to the middle section. So I'm going to bring that back in, make sure we've got that into place, and then we know exactly, just make sure when you bend this piece it's both in line, so you can sort of see that's in line. I can bring this in and then we can just place that underneath. So about there, don't think we need to worry too much. There we go. That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it does to me as well.
So we're going to pop that on there, and then we're going to do exactly the same. Come in with that craft knife and our ruler. So there we go. So again, butt your knife up to here. Another tip as well, this one looks like it's been quite used, so I could probably do with a new tip, but I'm actually coping okay with it. But a new blade will be your best friend, because that will cut through these layers no problem whatsoever. Also, this one will be easier because it's only 2 layers of cardstock that we're going through.
Got yes. Not unlike the last one. What was that last one? 3 or 4?
Yes, so there was, 1, 2, 3 layers.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 layers. And you can see, like, I mean, I've got the layer right in the end, so through there is, but I've also gone off-pieced a bit there.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because you're not using those pieces. So don't worry if you've cut into there. It's also why the ruler will be your best friend as well, because it allows you to do those cutting without going into your actual die-cut shape. So
really
the
is.
last one on there, just turn that round. Again, that's just making sure we get into that corner.
We always say, you know, you can go on our website and you can be getting our collections, you can be getting our folders, everything like that. Don't forget, you can still get your replacement tools as well, such as the replacement blades for our craft knife and that as well. So inexpensive. And I know you've got the swivel knife option as well, and the refills. You know, it's not just one you get, I think it's around about 5 or so in one little secure container and that as well. So don't forget, when you're checking out our website, check these things. Think about the tools, the replacement elements that you need as well at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes we forget about replacing them, don't we?
Yeah.
The actual knife blades, I always get myself extras of because they are the thing I go through quite a lot.
Yeah.
So we're near enough there.
Just to pop it into your basket while you're, you know, ordering this collection or a new launch or something like that. Yeah.
I always do that with the tape pens as well.
Tape pens.
So I couldn't ever not have the tape pens. So yeah, I think we definitely need a new blade on this one. There we go. And even if you want to pull out a little bit and it feathers a little bit at the base or behind, you haven't got to worry because that's not going to be seen anyway. So that's our 2 pieces done. So shall we stop there and let everyone catch up with their cutting, Craig? But that is the beginning of our card. So it's taking shape really nicely.
It really is. You really see it coming to life now as to the steps that we've got to when it comes to Debbie's step by step. We'll do, let's do a couple of comments. We'll have a little bit of a break and then we'll come back again, do another few comments. So many coming in thick and fast today, so thank you so much. Diane is saying, hi all, had this collection for a while but not used it. Now's your opportunity to get a hold of it. Maybe you've needed that extra oomph when it comes to your crafting mojo. Craft along are always the perfect, best way to get that mojo back. Bubble and Squeak have a full basket already checked out, but all ready to check out, but watching in case I get further inspiration. That would be good. Yeah, check out the blades for your craft knife. Check out all these ones as well. Rose saying, good morning from Delaware, crafty friends. Sneaking in while I work. Couldn't miss wishing Craig all the very best in the speedy recovery. Thank you so much. Johnny just said there, loves actually seeing those that are sneaking in watching from work. Absolutely.
I think we should come with a warning because I've been working from home, like when I'm doing prep work, and I get distracted and stop doing what I'm doing. So it needs to come for a warning because I bet you will stop working at work and you're watching us.
Or you maybe have the earphones in or something, you're not realising you're laughing out loud. And you know, the boss or that will go past. Yeah, you need to watch for that one. But I know what you mean. I get distracted. I was watching Michelle and Becky the other day while I was prepping at home. We've got Deborah saying, love my pencils. We've got Deborah saying, Craig will definitely be missed. I'm going to miss you guys. Not just the guys here, but you guys at home as well. I'll still be on social. I might go quiet for a couple of weeks, but I will be on social media. Gilmore is saying, we're going to miss you, Craig. Have a successful surgery, a speedy recovery. Thank you so much. Mary is saying, we will miss you, Craig. Wishing you a smooth surgery. Thank you. A lot of love. A lot of people saying good luck and hope all goes well. Thank you so much. Sandra is saying, Craig, when Caitlin says jump, you should say how high. We all do. Well, we all do. When Caitlin comes through and her with the social and wanting pictures for social media and that, it's like, what do you want, Caitlin? We'll do it.
I even had to 12 for Caitlin.
I noticed that.
I know. She's like, Debbie, give me a spin. I'll do it, Caitlin. I'll do it.
Yeah, well, I'm the same, Caitlin. What do you want me to do? You get that, Craig? Yeah, what do you want me to do? We've also got...
we're very attentive here, aren't we?
We really are. What we have got... Shahid is saying, Caitlin, please tell Craig that all of us here on YouTube around the world and yonder will be keeping him in our prayers and thoughts daily, wishing him a successful operation and a speedy recovery. That's really lovely of you all. If you think I'm ignoring the comments or wishing me a speedy recovery, I'm not. It's just it's always feels funny, doesn't it, when you're reading them out about yourself?
I know, but you should, because it's so nice to hear, because you know how we feel about you here. So it's going to be, you'll be very well missed. So, but at least we know you're coming back. So
100%. Just a couple more. We'll take a break, and then what we will do is we will then. Actually, I'm going to just jump down to where was I there? It's just moved it. There we go. Rose saying the papers in this collection are so bright and happy. One of my favourite papers ever. Rose is saying I love this collection. Karen is saying I think I have at least 2 sets of all the Aqua and wax pencils. Could never have too many. There you go, perfect. And Sandra is saying, Craig, you can always join in the live chat and heckle your colleagues. Think of all the difficult questions you could ask. There's a thought. I might just wait till Ben's on for that one and do that one. Anyway, yeah, keep your comments. There's still more that I'm going to read out just in a moment or two. I don't want to miss any out. Give you another little opportunity to just catch up to where you are when it comes to Debbie's craft along. No questions as such at the moment, which is a good sign. You've heard me talk about Club Inspire. If you want to know a little bit more about it, the boss is here to tell you all about it.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafty must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
There we go. Information you needed about Club Inspire and their delivery. Bubble the Squeak has popped on again saying, Debbie, I like the edging, ink edging. We're going to start that one again. Debbie, I like the ink edging, particularly with block colours.
I've learned not to do that again, Craig, because I just repeat the same thing that I said the first time. I've just done it with the fuchsia on both the edges, but it does make that little bit of difference. It just gives that sort of haze of colour and draws everything into the middle, which does make a big difference.
Really makes a big difference. Kirsty is saying, sad to see, We are sad about missing Craig for a bit, but thrilled to see him today.
Now you're just,
I'm just going. I'm as much use as a chocolate teapot today. Debbie is, oh gosh almighty. Bubble and Squeak is saying, Debbie, my thoughts exactly with the double-sided paper. It's hard enough to cut into the paper, but it's two designs to have to anguish over. It's right, but at least we've got a couple of them. A couple more before that's us caught up. Karen is saying, hi guys, I buy 2 paper pads so that I have the choice of both sides. I'm not good at making my mind up. Good idea. Really good. Bubble and Squeak once again is saying, or should I say crafternoon all? Crafternoon to you too. Sarah Brown is saying, this looks beautiful, Debbie. And Ro for now is saying, so true, Debbie, I just caught myself typing a response to a comment in my work document instead of in this comment section. Just as well you didn't send it.
I've done it, it's true, I've done it myself so many times and I think, oh, I need to just turn off because it is distracting, you can't help it. So.
Yeah, what one are you actually replying to, work emails or Crafters TV comments? Anyway, we're up to date as it is at the moment. No questions so far about the craft along, which is a good sign. It means those that are crafting along. Emma, if you're still crafting along, hope you're getting on well. Remember, send us pictures later on. It is all about the Garden Gnome collection. We will have a bit of a recap just shortly, but let's jump straight back over to Debbie and see what we're going to be doing next.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's use those scenery. Now, we're going to be covering a lot of this, but it's still nice to have it and be able to see them. I think these have been done exceptionally well. They're beautiful designs, each one of them. This one I particularly like. I think it's such a gorgeous design. That's the one that done that wedding card earlier. If you've got some of those tiny little lights, you could make some little holes in the background of this paper and shine your little LED lights through it. It would look so beautiful. I'm going to use this top one here because I want to be able to sort of see the heels. So I'm just going to really trim this out. Cut that one down and then cut it across because the actual page is smaller than what I need, but it's enough for the aperture that I've got at the back. So let's pop that out the way. So all you've got to do is choose one of those 4 designs and then we're going to bring in the back part of our one that we did at the beginning, which is the same as the front but the opposite way round. So that's the one that we'll glue together to show this middle section. So what we're going to do is this piece is going to go right in the centre. Now what we want to do with this to start with though, I want to make sure we can see the part that we want to see. So this piece is going to go into the set, so you can see straight away. I mean, look how amazing this all comes together, and we can see that we've got those hills. Now, if I want to show more of the sky, we could bring that down a little bit more, so you can see a bit more of the hills. If you want to see a bit more of the hills, bring that up a little bit, but just be mindful where it is. So actually, I'm going to bring that down a bit. So we're going to do that pretty central, I think, to our card, and then just glue that into place. I mean, it seems a shame that we are not seeing the whole scenery, but actually you don't always have to. No. Just having that snippet of what you can see in the background really does make your card, because it's the illusion that you've got that in the background more than actually seeing the whole thing. And then we can actually put this together because we must start doing our stamping and colouring in. So we're going to glue these side panels on. So I'm just going to attach glue to just this point here. So at the side. Now, if you're not sure about lining up, please make sure that you use a wet glue so you can sort of move it a little bit. It just really helps having a little bit of wiggle room just in case it doesn't go on properly. So how I like to do it is just to line those side pieces up, so I can just pop that onto there and then line that up on the opposite side. Okay, so that's my first piece, and then we can do the same onto this side and pop that into place.
Just like peeping out the window.
It is. I mean, they're beautiful scenery dies. They've done them so well. So that gives us that piece there. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my scoring tool just to burnish down that card, making sure that that is really stuck. Because when you're sending it to someone, you don't want that to come unstuck. No. So I always like to just go behind and pop that down thoroughly. and that gives us that center point. And then we've got our next one, which is going to go perfectly right on the top. And again, but this time I'm not going to glue here, I'm going to glue onto these points, because this is where we know is our exact measurements for gluing down. So you just want to glue that 2-inch mark on the side panel, and on the opposite side. And at least then we've got our card done, and then we will get as much, and hopefully we'll finish our gnomes. But it gives us a nice, at least 45 minutes to get those pieces done. So let's pop these round.
Even what I'm just thinking as well with this this one, Debbie, is this is a really good start as a basis template to then build upon that with, you know, maybe your farmyard collection, or, you know, if you use the pattern papers from that collection, the base is the template of what you've just created there. You can then, you're using the summer gnomes, bring in some of your other characters, you know, maybe some of your cute characters from Penny Sliders, all of these, start to build up that scene using the other collection. And I know I keep saying that a lot, building up the scene, but these are really good collections to do that, you know. And I don't mean Pebeo drawn gum and masking sheets, layering scenes that way. I mean stamping, colouring, cutting them out, building it up that way. You know, many of your collections you'd be able to use what you've just done here with.
Yeah, and they look beautiful, don't they? I mean, so it's such a lovely card to do. You might just want to do that and decorate with anything you've got in your stash, and put a photograph in the background. Lots of different ways to be able to do that, but I do love the fact that you've got these nesting dies that really frame your actual design. So we're going to pop that to the side, and we're going to bring in our little girl. So you can use whatever you want. I'm going to use, let's start off with the little girl and stamp her out. So we'll do these as we go along. But use anything you've got in your stash. Let me bring in some. So I've got a nice piece of Nina cardstock. I'm going to just trim this down, and then we will pop that one. And actually, we could do a few at a time. So if you do have the stamping platform, we will do a few. So I want to do the wings. So we're going to do her fairy wings.
Right.
We're also going to do the little girl. And then what I do want to do, I want to do her cool glasses. So we're going to pop that on into there. And then we're going to do the swing as well. So let's, and we want the plant pot from in here. So I'm going to do the plant pot. Oh, take that off. And then what else do we want? Let's bring in the swing. See, this is why I love, and same as you, Craig, the stamping platform, because you really can just stamp them all in one go. It's funny because
you'll have heard that as well. Just a moment ago, Johnny and Aria was just going, "Wait, you're stamping them all at once?" And then doing them all, and then and let's do our feet. We'll do her feet as well. There we go. It's class, Johnny said.
It's class. Yeah, you'd always see one, but actually because we have the stamping platform. So my tip with the stamping platform, because I've done it before, when this wiggle, can you see it just wiggles a little bit? Now, the nature of it, when it's all in its feet, you can push down anywhere, it'll go in the same place. But what I found before in time, if I've pushed here and pushed it down, it slightly moves. So what I always recommend people, always press down on your cross first, because if you press down on your cross and then work anywhere on that board, it will always go back in that same place. Because if I was to push that down there, and then I think, oh, I haven't stamped here very well, and I push down there, but then do that, that might be in a very slightly different place. So the one thing I do say to everyone, always push down in your centre cross, and then you get that precision every single time. And then we can use the whole of our board, which is great because it's going to just cut all those pieces out, stamp all those pieces, and then we can cut them all out.
I have to say, you're right, Johnny, and I can only pick myself up on this one here. When I use my stamping platform, I usually use it once for one stamped impression, and I always show you how good the stamping platform is by re-stamping if you miss a bit. But absolutely, it's good for stamping out a load of stamps all at once if you want to. It's so handy seeing it being used in this way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we get perfect precision anyway, but can you see I've got these little pieces, a bit there and a bit there. So I'm just going to go back, and actually I can see the ink is still on there, so I will just ink that. And what was the other piece? The leaves as well, just at the bottom of the leaves. And then go back in. So let that settle, but then just, nearly. I just see it's not even in the right position. Always press back down here. Then I can go in and press on that piece. Go in, press on the pieces at the bottom here, and then we get that precision stamping every single time. So let's pop those to the side. And then also, I'm going to, while we've got the stamping mat out, we're bringing, I was going into demonstration mode then, and I've just realised we're crafting along, so apologies for doing that really quickly. You're probably all still looking at your stamps and putting them down. And then I just suddenly realised, I'm just whipping them about, and I need to just calm that down a bit. Right, so we've got all those bits. So what I'll do is just pop these all back onto my stamps, just so I know where they all are. A lot of questions that get asked, Craig, you probably do as well, about cleaning stamps. I never clean my stamps.
Thank you.
Do you?
No.
No. So, I never, people ask if you sort of clean, and I don't. But if you did want to, all I would say is have a scrap piece of paper, like I've got a scrap piece here. You could just sort of go over them a few times just to lift that ink, and then it will get rid of all your ink from them.
I'll sometimes do that, kind of like second, third, fourth generation, just to take that layer of stamp.
Yeah.
If it's our full detailed layering stamps, where you layer upon layer upon layer, I'll tend to give them a bit of a clean. But no, outline stamps, sentiment stamps, anything like that, no, I don't clean mine. Second, third generation, get that excess off, but that's it. That's all that I do.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It doesn't need it. So I've just got one more. I'm trying to find where this, there we go, that's that one. But I also want to do some more pots, so we're going to use the pots. I'm going to pop them to the side. I'm going to keep my dies because we're going to cut the dies out as well. And I'm going to bring in the little boy as well. Say the little boy, could be a man. Could be a man. So we're going to have him on there. We're going to bring in the sunglasses. And also I'm going to bring in this one because the lady's on the swing. He's going to be presenting her with a beautiful bouquet of flowers.
Aww.
And then we're going to pop this one on again.
Oh, romantic he is.
I know, absolutely. I like romantic men. Are you romantic, Craig? Do you class yourself as romantic? Oh, you've got to be careful. Caitlin's on socials.
Am I romantic? I'd like to think I am. I'd like to think I am, yeah.
Mexican. Do you like Mexican, Johnny?
Yes.
Oh, you like Mexican food as well then, Craig?
Yeah, I do. I have, yeah. George is asking if I've bought anyone flowers. I have. Have you? Yeah? Who doesn't love flowers?
I've never bought a man flowers, I have to admit.
Yeah, Johnny's saying flowers are wine for Gemma. Mainly wine. Yes, But yeah, no, I would like to think I am, Debbie.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I am.
I think we're all romantic. We've all got romance in us. It's sometimes we just forget to use it.
That's it. Yeah. Yes. We just need a nudge. Or sometimes as men just need a nudge. What are you doing, Debbie?
Do you know, I have a very big mouth. I say things that I shouldn't say.
Loving your stamping, Debbie. Beautiful stamping with our stamping platform.
I'll just concentrate on my stamping. Right, so what we have done is we've put We've put 3 of our pots here. We've got our little girl with our wings, and yeah, we've got our little boy with everything. So we're going to do some of our colouring now. So I'm going to be using the tri-blend markers. Let's first of all concentrate on our Mal gnome. I'm also going to just bring in.
I was just away to read that one out for me, yeah.
I did say I've never bought man flowers. He's another one that should be working. He's actually in the office in London today. So yeah, so he'll be being distracted. Yeah, absolutely.
Craig, I can vouch Debbie has never bought flowers. There you go.
Perhaps I need to buy some now. Ours bought me flowers, so.
Oh, but that's the main thing.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the main thing.
Right, let's remember to put my glasses on.
Oh,
so,
you remembered them this time.
Sorry?
Remembered them this time.
I remembered, yes, I did. I don't think I could cope without them. Right, so we're going to do his shorts to start with. So I'm using blue turquoise. So we're starting with our lightest one. Just checking I've got the blend, yes. And we're just going to, oh, I keep doing that. You know, when you just look and think that's where I'm colouring, but actually that's his shirt. But it's all right, we can go over the top of that. So all we're going to do is come around with our lightest colour. So this is the nice bit about our craft along, is just having that that really nice sort of session of being able to colour in. This is where we all go into our sort of craft combers now, don't we? Colouring combers. So all we're going to do is where you think that shading will be. So under his shirt line there, and then I'm going to go in with the darkest colour and come in.
So therapeutic to even watch.
Yeah, I remember you, we had a training session. Do you remember, Craig?
I know, yeah.
And
I know.
It was quite a few years ago actually now, wasn't it? And I didn't realise that you hadn't really coloured much before there. But you suddenly done loads of colouring and you were loving it. And it's nice to see in someone where you suddenly get that bug for colouring, and that's all you want to do. You want to just be able to sort of colour. And I'm the same, because I don't think I'm a colourist at all. I just know how to colour, but I so wish I had more time.
It's one of those that you do, you wish I had more time. Because before starting with Crafters Companion, I was one of those, you know, I'm going to say I bought the Pro markers, I'm not knocking them, so many people use them.
That's what I started with.
Good results with them. Other alcohol pens, I just couldn't get that blending, I just couldn't get that shading right. Started to work on with the classics, but then we brought the tri-blend when I joined here, and that's what set me off. That's where I learned my alcohol colouring, blending and shading. It's with the tri-blend. So I'm one of those that I could stand here and say to you, for me, I had so much trouble with blending and colouring and just getting that pride in my colouring work, and the tri-blends changed all that. Now I feel really confident when it comes to the classic pens, so I will always just talk lyrical about the tri-blend pens and the classics as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just nice to use, aren't they? So the only reason I'm switching, you're probably seeing I'm using a slightly different, this is our tri-blend brush, because I'm using the dull green, and I couldn't find a dull green in the actual tri-blend, just the tri-blends, not the tri-blend brush.
Because sure, you can still use both of them, can't you, together?
Absolutely. I mean, the colours are the same, so yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to blend those colours in.
Between him and the one earlier on, loving the colour choice that you've used for the gnomes.
Yeah, and actually you can get really creative, can't you, when you're using different colours. And then we're going to use, and in fact, let's, I won't be rude to Al and say a man of his age, but I've already outed him, so I'm going to use the grey, so we're going to give him a nice grey beard. And I'm just going to do those flicks, so we're going to keep him nice and light, his beard. And I'm just doing some flicks, and then colouring that in at the bottom, because he's going to be hidden quite a bit with these flowers.
Okay. Been in the doghouse maybe. Or maybe he is just being romantic. Hiding behind the house. Hiding behind the house? Hiding behind the flowers. Maybe we'll be
Get
hiding
your words
behind the
out
house.
today, Craig.
I know, spit them out. This is one of the colours I use a lot as well.
Yeah,
is that
it's
the ice
great.
grey, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because, and what it's good for as well, it's good for like adding extra shade and depth underneath a colour, but it's also good for outlining, isn't it, when you go out round an actual image.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a really good pen to use.
Yeah, that's looking fab. That's just done the 2 shades only, and look at that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do any more. We just want to keep that really nice and light. His nice beard there. Oh, I forgot to do is, where's my blue pen again? So going back to our blue turquoise, let's do his little rim across there.
Well, I noticed, actually, you've done it earlier on. Obviously, you've just done it there as well. Usually we'll say, when it comes to that flicking technique, we usually refer that to the illustrators, don't we?
Yes.
So it's lovely to see that you can still be doing that with the tri-blends or even the classics if you want,
Yeah,
and still get Debbie's
absolutely.
effect.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. There is a knack to it, Craig, which especially when you're using a bullet nib, but practice, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
And you really do get there once you start just learning that light touch of flicking. You obviously, the illustrators are the best ones to do that with, because it really does show how amazing they are, and that brush nib really is. You can't beat that at all. So I'm just going a little bit over that top bit just to blend out those colours a bit more.
Okay.
Which is good because actually it shows you, Craig, you can still go back into an image.
yeah.
If you're not really sure and you're not really liking what you've done, just go back in and add that little bit more. And then I am just going to add that lighter colour to that edge again.
It's one thing I would actually say, but I can only really refer this to, you know, other alcohol markers. I think that's one thing that many people can be misinformed about, and the fact is that you can actually go back, and I'm going to say what I said earlier on, I can only speak for tri-blends or classic pens or even illustrators, but you can actually go back and enhance that shading if you want to, certainly with our ones, as to what Debbie's just done there.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to go in, because we've got our fair skin, so our fair skin blend, just to do his nose there. And actually what that will also do, that will just lighten any little bit. So I've gone in a little bit harsh there with my my blue pen.
Okay,
but I can just blend that in with a lighter colour, because it will just bleach it out. And then we're just going to come in a bit more with an even darker piece, just in that corner there, just to give his nose some real depth. There we go. So there's our little our gnome. And then while we've got this out, I'm going to use the same pen actually with the tan blend this time. But I'm going to use my light colour on the pots. And all I want to do is I want to give this middle section the lightest colour. And then I'm going to come in then with my tan blend at the side. So I'm using this to have that light. Can you see we're sort of keeping our lightest shade, and then I'm going to come round just with that dark and flick that through. I'm not using too much, just want to give that sort of that sphere shape.
Yeah.
And it really does preserve our highlight as well.
It's funny with this one, Debbie, is, you know, many of our shows can be really busy, and that goes for the craft along as well. But usually what you'll find is the craft along, most people have got the collection, hence why they're crafting along.
Yeah.
With this collection today, we're really, really busy. I'm beginning to wonder if some people actually missed it the first time round, and that's them only just getting it now. It launched on the 19th of May, so I'm beginning, I don't know, maybe if some people are away on holiday at the time, or, you know, just, I don't know what's going on, but it seems to be that many of you have maybe just not come across it yet, or maybe just deciding to do it now, because we're really busy with this collection.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, and that's the other thing, isn't it? People come back and get extra paper pads. Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm just going to have, let's do a darker colour in that sort of yellow so we can do a bit of sort of yellowy soil in there. And on there. We've got another one, haven't we? So while I've got these all at hand, I thought we would just do those extra ones in, and then we're going to come in and do exactly the same with that centre point, like so.
That one you've just done there a minute ago just looks so lifelike. So lifelike.
This is where you can really play with your pens. That's what I love about alcohol colouring. Yeah. It is quite funny, isn't it?
They're taking the mick out of Debbie's glass wearing.
My rapid colouring, now I've got my glasses on. I know, honestly, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I have to really concentrate when I don't have my glasses on. And it makes such a difference when you can see.
It does help, Debbie, it does help.
I just need to really use my glasses.
Stay within the lines.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done the worst thing I ever done. I remember being on Create and Craft quite a few years ago, and it was when my eyes started to get a little bit bad. I didn't really take much notice of them, and I was working with Charlie Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
And I remember him looking at me, and he was like pointing to the colouring, and it was only afterwards I looked. It was really bad, and they'd gone close up on the camera, and I'd gone all out of the lines, and he was roaring afterwards because Debbie, your colouring was rubbish.
At least you had an excuse of not having your glasses.
I know, and from then I kept thinking, oh, use your glasses and stop trying not to wear them. Just ridiculous. No, I didn't, Johnny. Johnny always has to bring up things, doesn't it? Yeah, my spowl. Did you ever hear about my spowl at all?
Your what, sorry?
My spowl.
Spell?
Spowl.
Oh, spowl.
Spowl.
No.
Yeah, so I was supposed to be drawing an owl, and it didn't come out looking like an owl. It come out looking like a spider, actually. It started looking like Yoda, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Is it?
Yeah, it was just not very good. Yeah, it was just, if anyone's going to do a mishap or blooper, it's definitely going to be me.
I need to look out for that one.
So I did it with Nigel May, and he still has it.
Has he?
Yes, it was a wood, so it's when we brought out the acrylic markers, and I was drawing onto a wood slice, and it was so bad that he was going to give it away, but he said it was so bad he couldn't dare to part with it. He's actually sent me a picture not long ago with him holding it, like, guess what I've still got?
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
I'll have to show you it. Yeah. It was very bad.
Yeah, I'll need to go back and have a look at the VT.
It's live TV, see, live TV. But hopefully you're all not being too distracted and colouring along with me, and we're getting there. So with our pots. Right, so we've done our pots, we've done them quite quickly. Let's now do our flowers. And all I'm going to do is, because they're only small, all we're going to do is use our middle colour of our magenta, so our MG2. And we're just going to go around. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to, you could put in sort of some darker shade in. But to be honest, when you've got such small little petals, just a nice pop of colour is nice enough. So just going round with those. How are we doing for time? Wow, where has that time
it's
gone?
flying in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's speeding by. So let's do our other ones.
And we were talking about that yesterday, weren't we? Certainly with the tri-blends. You don't have to use the tri-blends in that blended form that they're intended for.
Absolutely.
You're just doing there, Debbie. You're only using the mid colour.
Absolutely, and also what I like, Craig, is, and we do forget that you can get shading from one colour.
You can.
So we do what you call a solid blend, which you can put down colour until you can apply no more colour, and it's this flat solid blend. But actually, what you can do is, if you put this colour down, leave that to dry. I'm going to, let's put both of those. Leave your colour to dry, then you can go in and just in the centre and put some extra layers down, and it will darken that colour. So it will add that extra layer. So I'm just going to put some extra, just because these are a bit more prominent than the leaves on the other ones. We're just going to put a little bit of the darker colour in that centre. And then I'm going to use that darker one around those little ones. And then we're just going to use our green. So I've gotten in for the dull green again.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from the other colouring work you're doing, Debbie, but I can't help but keep looking at the beard on the gnome. How well that looks. With the grey.
Okay, yeah. It looks very good, doesn't it, with the grey?
Works really well.
It always reminds me when I do hair. I remember years ago, my daughter made a picture of my mum, and my mum said to her, "Oh, I haven't got brown hair," because she'd done brown hair, and she said to my mum, "Well, I didn't have a grey pen." And my mum was blonde.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like, I haven't got grey hair. It's very funny. It's funny how kids see the older generation.
That's
it's right in front of me, the fair skin. Absolutely no filter at all. Dear me, getting words wrong today. Yeah, you would definitely know that, Johnny, with your two. Oh no, that's so funny. Are we allowed to say it, Craig, or you say it? Did you hear Johnny?
Johnny's daughter, Isla, who's 5, did you say? Yeah. Okay. So Isla will say to Johnny, "Daddy, you're fat, but not as fat as Daddy Pig." Savage.
It's savage.
Daddy's been burnt. Yeah.
They are funny, aren't they?
She doesn't, does she? So
my
Isla will
goodness,
say
that's
to
so funny.
Gemma, Johnny's wife, obviously Isla's mum, "Mummy, are you putting any makeup on today?" Big savage. Big savage.
At 5.
What's it
They
say?
don't have no filter, you're right
No.
though. I mean, I remember telling my Ruby when she was only 3 and she was going through my handbag, and I was like, "Ruby, don't go through Nanny's handbag." And she pointed at me and wagged her finger and went, "Nanny, stop being so rude." Because I told her not to go through my bag. It always tickles me now that she did that, and I'll never forget it.
What is it they say? Out the mouths of babes.
I know, absolutely. And it's so hard not to laugh. Really, yeah, really hard not to laugh.
I can only go back to my cousins Lou and Dan. They're like 20. What's Lou? I don't know, 20, 22, 23. Dan must be about 21, 22. And when they were babies, yeah, or babies when they were little and toddlers, and yet some of the things they would come out with and say, it's just hilarious. You shouldn't laugh, but sometimes you can't help it, or you just have to turn away and turn your back.
See, I find it so hard not to laugh. I was all right with my own children when they were little, but my granddaughters, I just laugh. And Ruby picks up on it and she just goes, "Well, Nanny thinks it's funny."
Landing you in it as well.
Yeah, and I just go, "Actually, Nanny doesn't think it's funny. I think you're being a bit naughty. It's just that Nanny can't stop laughing at something else."
Must be, I don't know what the word is, but it must be different from your grandkids to your own kids. But as you're just saying there, you wouldn't necessarily have laughed when it's your kids, but
Honestly,
when it's your grandkids,
Craig,
it's
I'm very
completely
naughty
different.
because I do really let them get away with naughty things, and then I just say, "Well, it's all right because it's Nanny, but you mustn't do it when you go home." They get away with so much with me, but my kids wouldn't have done.
No.
And I say naughty, they're not naughty
No,
at all.
but-
They're just a little bit mischievous and they do funny things. And I do encourage it. But Ruby's very good because she'll say, like, if I pick her up from school, I say, oh, should we go to McDonald's and have a treat? And she'll go, oh, Nanny, Mummy said that I'd already had McDonald's at the weekend, so I'm not allowed another one if Nanny asks me.
That's really good.
So she tells me, and I go, we don't have to tell Mummy. And she goes, no, we have to tell Mummy. I went, all right then, I'll tell Mummy I've bought you McDonald's. They still have McDonald's.
Meet in the middle.
But she's very honest and very good like that.
Yeah, not many would be like that. Like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, exactly what Nanny said, but no, she tells me she's not allowed.
That is good.
Right, so just add in a little bit of this one. I'm trying to sort of rush these so we can get them done. So apologies if you're taking a bit longer with your colouring. And then all I'm going to do is her feet. So we're going to do her shoes here. So colour those in. And then on that one. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of colouring on there. Just on her heel. So you can see I'm not really colouring much on here, just adding that little bit of light and shade.
Okay.
I'm actually going to use her wings. We're just going to use a really pale colour around. Oh, this is darker. Is that shades? It's a bit light. It's a bit darker than I want. Oh, it's because I've used the wrong one. I wanted ice blue, which is a lot lighter. So we'll just darken that down. Doesn't really matter because we're only putting a little rim around. Just the edges, because I want to keep it quite light. And then all we're going to do is just make sure we colour in our hands. So it's just bringing that fair skin blend, because we've got our hands on this bit. Because remember, even though that looks a bit strange, that is just the part that's going to go behind her back. And then while we've got this one out, let's just do her nose and face. I think we might do actually, we might not though, is we was going to do some stamping, but we might have to, because we were going to fussy cut her dress. We might not get the chance to do it, so I'm going to just colour in her dress just in case. And then if we do get a chance to fussy cut, then we will. So I'm just going to use green, which we was going to do patterns on her dress. I don't have the stencil for her, which is a shame.
Do we not?
I've got the stencil for the boy, so we will use that. But I'm just going to do just a little bit of shading around the bottom. And I will show you how to quickly, when you want to just paper piece in the material. That together. That will all start to just bleed in, and then we will just do a hair, which I'm going to use. Where's my gold yellow blend? Just colour that in.
I know that. I was just having a look at the comments there.
No one forgets, do they?
No.
It was one of those, yeah, no one ever lets me forget the wax seal.
Really?
Did you really? I didn't know that. Oh no. It was really bad. I thought Craig might have took over with his was it the squashed elephant?
Oh, the squashed elephant, yeah.
That was hilarious. Yes, she's always asked me, how do you do it? And I don't know what she does, she just can't do it. And I do it every single time. So sorry, I'm talking to Johnny, so I apologise. But Johnny was saying about the string technique, where you pull the string through the cardstock.
Oh, yeah.
It makes like almost like a lily, a calla lily. And Debbie Robinson just cannot do it.
No?
Like, I don't know what she does, but she just
can't get it.
never comes out right, yeah. And I think it's like a really simple technique, but I suppose it just shows you not everybody can do it. Fiona was amazing.
Fiona was really good, yeah.
Hers was better than what I could do, but it's a really fun, lovely technique. And then we're just going to, I tell you what, we've got a neck there, and I've forgotten to put her neck in. Put her neck in.
Put her neck
Hold
in.
your neck in.
Wind your neck in.
Wind your neck in, that's the one. Wind your neck in. So we're putting shoes on us, so we haven't got to worry about that. I'm just going to quickly colour in a hat, and that's just in case we don't get a chance to come back to doing that, because we need to die cut them out. Just like so.
Oh, wax seal incident. Okay. Thank you, Rhonda. April 25th, second chance Sunday.
Isn't it
wax
funny
seal
that
day.
everyone actually knows when it is? I mean, that's quite funny in itself, isn't it?
It is.
And I've just got the branch to do, and here. Oh dear, that was really bad. It was one of those things, when I was prepping it, it come out really well. But yeah, it didn't come that way on live TV.
Live TV.
Yeah.
Nothing goes right, does it?
That's so true.
You can have a great idea, a great technique. It goes so well at home when you're prepping. Bet your bottom dollar you've got to do it live. No, doesn't play ball.
And I suppose I was being a little bit out of my comfort zone, because I'm definitely not an artist, and I was creating this owl from scratch. I think the worst thing is the picture's gone around with the spout, but it's actually the finished product. You can see where I was going, but no one shows the finished one.
Don't,
no, they don't show the nice one and the one that come out really well. Don't see the good one.
Yeah, never want to see that. Never want to see the good one.
And just one little leaf that's bugging me there that's not being coloured, so let's just colour that one in. And there we go. And let's just do the glasses. So
Love the green that you've used for the girl gnome.
yeah, it's nice on that, isn't
It is.
it?
It
And I've
works
only
well.
used that because, like I say, I might not get the chance to do the other. And just because we've got our nose, oh, and we've got his glasses as well. So let's go back in with that darker green for his glasses.
Okay.
And oh yeah, I've done his nose, and I've just realised that actually we don't want to do the noses, because I've just drawn all over myself. Look, trying to get my lid
And that's
back
with your
on.
glasses on.
That's,
What I love about this one as well, there's so many things I love about this collection, but it's the eyes, the hands, the feet, how they're separate. How it just gives it that more unique, crafty point to it.
yeah, absolutely. Right, now we should be okay. So let's pop this on. Yeah, so we've still got plenty of time, which is great. So we're going to
Fabulous.
pop that round. Going to bring in the some tape, and we can just cut these all out together. Yes. So that's the great thing about stamping all together, because you can then cut out all together. So let's pop those two into place and take them together.
And this is the sort of bit you could be doing, maybe on a lap table or something in front of the couch or something. You're watching your TV show, when we're not on, of course. Maybe one of your soaps. Do all your colouring first, and then the next day or that you can get together with the bits. You can cut them out. Then build the scene, build your card, your project. You don't always have to do. I think some people as well. I don't know about you, Debbie, but some people think you've got to stamp, you've got to colour, you've got to cut, you've got to create the card. You don't have to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
do the
absolutely.
stamping, cutting and colouring one day. You don't have to create your card till the next day or a couple of days after. If you want that time to just sit and colour it all in once, then go for it.
Yeah, definitely. There's always a way, isn't there, to do what suits you. I'm just looking, perhaps I can't see for looking. I'm looking for the glasses die. I think that might be it there. That's that one. Is that the one? Does it go there? Ah, there we go. So that's the thing, isn't it? It's finding now all the shapes that go all together. And then let's pop the feet together here. But for me, this is the fun part, because this is the part where you build everything up and get it all looking really nice, and then you can sort of place it wherever you want it to go.
That's the thing, yeah.
And then we've got the glasses there. We are getting there.
It's been lovely to see colour all of that in the one show. You know, I know time restricts us, so usually we'll do a bit of colour and then we'll bring in all the other ones that we've done before. But seeing you colour all of them in front of our eyes.
And actually, I did it quite quickly, so apologies, because obviously I think people want to spend more time on colouring, but we don't always get that opportunity to. I'm looking for the, oh, there it is, my flower pot die. So let's pop that on here. And then have we got these down? Yeah, that one down. And then that one on there. It's just finding all the little dies that go with them now, isn't it? And then we've just got our little gnome one. But you get so much more, lots of embellishment dies, really nice ones that you can use. So we're just gonna pop that one into place. There we go, and then we can run them through. So because I've got the big Gemini, I can pop them all through and we can have all of them cut out in one go. Apart from needing a couple of extras of the flower pots. Let's pop that through. There we go. And at least we've got all our card finish as well. So if we bring our card back in, now it's our chance to pop all those pieces together.
And I know you're using the larger Gemini, it would go within the junior, the midi. I think apart from the swing, all the other ones, they're going to go through the Gemini Mini and the Gemini Go. You know, if you do them all separate, they're going to fit through your smaller machines.
Yeah, great idea as well, because and think this is a really fun collection for the kids for the summer holidays.
Isn't it just?
Yeah, I mean, they would love these. You could let them die cut their own pieces out. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just such a lovely die and stamp set. And we're going to use this going right across that middle up the top there, so we can have a sit-in on that branch. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit and just take the top piece here and the side pieces.
Okay.
So let's just bring in our tape pen, so just at the top, and it was this side, wasn't it? Making sure there's plenty there, making sure that swing is central to our middle, and then just popping that into place. So just give that a rub so it really adheres itself to the sides. Just like so. Yeah, it's really effective, isn't it? If you did want to make this so it's a little bit more rigid, what I would say is cut another one out, just cut the shape out, mat it onto the back of it. And then because this bit, can you see where it's going down a little bit? If you do want that to be just a little bit more rigid, just cut another one out. So we've got our, she's going to be sitting on to the swing. And remember, you've got all those pieces, so don't forget to put her arms on first. So the first thing we want to do is her arms are going to be on the swing here. So they'll be behind her back.
Okay.
So they will come out, go onto the swing, just like so. So we're going to pop them on first, just making sure I've got them in the right place. Yep, just about there. So we're going to pop them onto each side. And actually, I'm going to bring in my little precision glue bottle. So bring that one in. And we're going to pop that just at there. In fact, let's pop it onto here, because then we know we won't be putting glue anywhere we don't need it.
But even the scene in the background, although it's, I think the actual scene themselves are about 5 by 5, 5.5 by 5.5. Just having your nested frame there, how you've got that rectangle look, but it just showcases that scene from the paper pad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just beautifully.
And there's plenty of them, isn't there, Craig? I don't know how many, but there's, I can't remember the amount, but I think there might be 4 pages of those toppers, which is brilliant. Yeah. So also we've got her feet here, so let's take her feet out, and I'm going to put these onto just a little bit of foam pads, I think. So let's just trim these sections.
So there's 6 sheets. So you've got 30 double-sided papers, and then you'll have 6 sheets of the scenes, which is going to give you 36 sheets in total.
Oh, wow.
And in total, that will give you 24 card fronts.
Wow, that's amazing.
Already done.
Or backgrounds, as
Or
we've
backgrounds,
used here.
yeah.
And then all we've got, can you see, look how fun her feet are then. Like, it looks like they're sticking up. And she's swinging, yeah. Look at that. I mean,
Isn't
so
it cool?
cool. And then we've got her nose, so let's pop that on. And we're going to do the same with that one. We'll just put a little bit of a foam pad on there. It just adds to, it just elevates it all when you put them on foam pads.
It does, yeah.
Just brings that out. And then we're going to pop that right across where her nose will be. So that's our little girl there. And then we're going to do our, let's do our little man. Oh, I tell you what I forgot. I thought she was looking funny, but we haven't put her wings on. But actually, we can still put her wings behind there. So we can do that after, but I do want to just put a couple of embellishments on because I know we're fast running out of time, and I know you want to see what Jamie's got in store for you all.
I have to see the girl gnome just there on the swing. Now, I know most of you at home, including Debbie, will have no idea what I'm on about. Johnny will do. Johnny, do you not think she looks a bit like Becky Lynch with her goggles on? Yeah.
Wait, for who?
Becky Lynch, female wrestler.
Oh, I wouldn't know, would I?
She's got that look to her. Even Jamie's in just looking as if to say, no, not got a clue. Which, incidentally, it's been really, really busy with Cosmic Shimmer, so don't go far, because Jamie's going to be coming up just shortly. You've already been buying in between shows, so we'll spend the next hour with Jamie.
So let's pop the glasses on there. I don't like that on a foam pad, so I'm going to take it off because I think it makes her look a bit googly-eyed. So let's just pop that onto there, and then there we go. That looks a bit better. And then what we're going to do is just pop our flower pots on. I haven't had time to print out a sentiment, so apologies for that. But you just never quite know sometimes if you're going to get your craft along done. But I will bring in the finished one just to show you all those finishing touches. But there we go. If we just bring that round and show you that. And the only difference I've done there is we've added a little sentiment, exactly the same, and just a couple more. You can see the flower pots in the background. So, but yeah, looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? So,
that looks so cool.
So sorry for the rush at the end, but I hope you really enjoyed that.
Yeah, a lot of love for your craft along, that's for sure. We've got just, a lot of comments coming in just saying about the spowl as well, the wax melt as well. Sensational Sky saying, Debbie, my mum is so much softer than she was with us. She even gives my 15-month-old niece her mobile phone.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, starting early. Karen saying, the wax sale episode was hilarious. I laughed so hard that day because Debbie giggled so much, it made me laugh with her. Love Debbie's giggle. Last but by no means least, Anna's saying, that was so funny. Debbie was laughing so hard, she couldn't speak to Joe, who was doing the commentary.
Oh, he did afterwards. So I was trying to do another demo and I still couldn't stop laughing. So Joe was talking through the demo for me.
Even more reason to go back and watch that one there. Rightio, don't go far. We've still got another. Debbie, thank you so much for that one. That, of course, is going to go in with a demo of the show. Of course, kind of a given. You know what? Actually, is it? Or is that still going to go up against Jamie? Well, I'm going to go up against Jamie. We've still got Jamie going, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be demo of the show. She's determined to break all of our machines today. That's now another machine, is it? Or is it the plate? Who knows what it is? Anyway, go and grab yourself a cup of tea, a drink, finish off your craft along. Myself and Jamie, we're going to be back in a moment.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day. Quick Buy. All your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy. All your crafting must-haves in a flash.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Now I've seen the smile on that VT. It was there just a moment ago. I had obviously seen it, of course. I just didn't realise that was the bit. Anyway, welcome back. Look at this gorgeous goodness coming up in a moment from our creative expression. It's been so busy in between the shows, so since Jamie was on earlier on in Wake Up Call, it's been really, really busy. So now's the opportunity to still shop ahead across on our website, get your hand on some of those creative expression goodies. We are going to be focused on something specific within this hour with Jamie, but of course, well, do you know what? Seeing I've said his name twice, let's introduce you to the one and the only Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you very much.
Good.
You ready to go for another hour?
Absolutely, yeah. I can't wait to share these with you.
What are we going to be looking at?
When they launched, I didn't get to play with these.
Did you not?
So this is like the first show I've got to play with them. So I'm quite excited about actually being able to share them with you and show you what they're
And a
all about.
play, yeah. Fab. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you right now. We're going to go over the details with you if you do want to get your hands on these ones. We've got two options for you. So with this first one here, we're going to be having a look at the Cosmic Shimmer Gilded Touch 5-piece selection. So we're going to be having a look at the silver note. So what I'm showing you all comes in with this first set. We've got silver note, we've got tarnished gold, we've got misty teal, we have also got pearl, and we've also got our autumn bronze. So within these ones here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these onto some cardstock that Jamie has done. So cardstock also with some embossed cardstock. So these are the colours you're going to get. Jamie, what sort of things can you do with these ones here, the Gilded Touch?
I'm very grateful, just before I steal any credit, Gwen did all my boards for me.
Did you?
Yes, so if you just in case she's watching, I won't steal the credit. Gwen did all of these and I thought they looked brilliant, so I brought them to you so you can see how they look like. But you can use them over any type of cardstock you wish to. They'll also dry on non-porous surfaces, so if you wish to be using them on acetates, mirror cards, glossy cards, anything like that, that shouldn't be a problem. I've also, for my second demo, got one we're going to be doing on some MDF, which should be quite good fun.
Beautiful, looking forward to that one. All these ones here, this is all coming from your Gilded Touch selection, 5-piece selection we've got in front of you here. So that's one of the options. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Even if you were to buy this collection just for the pearl alone, but you are going to be getting all 5 of them. $29.25 or $45. Everyone is going to be saving 10%. A third of the stock's gone already for that one there. However, if you are platinum, that's going to come down to £23.40 or $36. So that is for this first set here. We do have another option you might want to go for. Maybe you want to go for this one instead, or maybe you will want to go for this one as well. It looks as though, as John is just saying here, a third of the stock is gone of these ones here. So that kind of says to me, who's no math whiz, who's not good with numbers, but it does say to me that most of you are going for both of them, if that's 30% gone of both sets. This one here is your Cosmic Shimmer Golden Gilded Touch 5-piece selection, also $29.25 or $45. So within these ones, you're going to get Rose Gold, you're going to get Indulgent Red, you're going to get Golden Bronze, you're going to get Warm Gold and Enchanted Gold. These ones give you another most beautiful effect. So whether you're going to go straight on to your cardstock, I'm going to go that way, there we go, or if you're going to go onto your embossed cardstock, or any of the ways that Jamie just went over a moment ago, or you might start to follow with what he's away to do within this next hour. You can do, but these are beautiful. So this pearl, I don't want you to think it's a duplicate of the one I showed you before. It is a different one, but that one there being Enchanted Gold there. But you can see, if I bring that back, so at first glance you might not, there we go, you see that gold coming through. You see that gold coming through within that one there. Perfect. So you've got that one. We've also got the Rose Gold within this one here. So think of your embossing folders, your 2D embossing folders, but elsewhere in which you're going to use, oh, I mean, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Indulgent Red here. And if I tilt that, look at that one there, straight away onto your cardstock. But then if I bring that one back so you can see your emboss, either stencils or that, I'm sure you'll be able to run these ones through. And then last but by no means least, the Golden Bronze as well. So you get that instant golden gilded touch with each of these ones here. So that is your second option there. As I say, $29.25 or $45, also saving 10% on that one. If you are platinum, that's going to come down to £23.40 or $36. We will quickly go to Jamie just in a moment, but let's have a few ideas as to what you can be doing with these ones here. All of these have been made by Janice. If you want to know what I'm on about, just go back and have a look and watch Wake Up Call. But these ones here have been done by Jamie himself. So, you know, if you are going to be creating your backdrops, maybe you are going to be going over the top of your flowers, maybe your shapes, MDF shapes, even your sentiments that we can see here, whether that's die cut or not. I mean, look at this one here. Absolutely gorgeous. Couple more as well that I've got from the side. So we've got these ones coming in. I'm going to bring this one in. If you love kind of like your mixed media, I mean, look at this one here. So if I go on, let's see, if I got a bit of what, here we go. Let's go just all fingers and all thumbs. Let's pop that one to the back. And look at that. That's like It must be like chipboard or miteboard,
This is one that Gwen's done. This is one of our chipboard booklets.
Right.
And this is the front cover, and the next one down on your pile is another one of the pages. And what she's done with both of them is she's taken them, she's putting on lots of die cuts, lots of embellishment bits, painted them with black gesso, and then gone in with all our gilded touches.
Right, okay.
And just added some accents to them. So you can build them up to make your very own little mini albums or journals as you wish to.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. But then what you could do, also from Gwen as well, you can see, so whether you are going, you know, for some of your die cuts, your steampunks, or maybe you're going to go in with your just actual die cuts, embossed designs, really, really simple. We've got these wordies on the show as well. I'm presuming, I don't think they've sold out just yet, have they, Johnny? Not yet, they're hanging in there. But look at these ones here. So it's, I like this one where two embossed, one of them has gone over with the gilded touch. Another beautiful one there where it's just right into the backdrop. There we go. Really, really beautiful. A couple more and then we'll jump across to Jamie to see what you could be doing with them. Let's bring in this one here. Here we go. Aren't these absolutely beautiful? Lots of ways in which you can use them. Cosmic Shimmer, Golden Gilded Touch. This one, the 5-piece, $29, $25, $45. Saving 10%. If you are platinum, that's going to come down to £23.40 or $36. Right, Jamie, what else can we do with these ones?
Okay, so this is the card I was going to share with you, but I wanted to also highlight the two differences between the pearl and the enchanted gold that Craig was just talking about. So we will cover this as well, but we'll talk about the first two colours before we get onto that bit. So we've got the enchanted gold and we've got the pearl one. Let me show you a little bit with these. When we take off the lid, we then have this ultra fine like nozzle that we can use to apply it. And if we wanted to take it directly to our project, we can literally go ahead and we can squeeze out a small amount onto the project. We can also load these onto our sponges or our applicators, or we can load them onto our fingertips. So I'm just going to take this one and put it out onto the white here.
Okay.
So this is our golden pearl. So straight away you can see that we haven't hidden the white card, we've just give it a golden finish, like the sample board that Craig held up. So we've taken plain white card, give it that pearl finish. If we take this same colour and we put it onto black card instead, we're just going to take off the excess there, we can then see that on black card we just get that golden finish come through. So if you look at that one colour, there's two very different effects just by the different colour that we place it on top of. So it's quite nice to see that that's one of your differences with your enchanted gold. We'll also play with the pearl one, and I'll show you this one on the white and the black again, just so you can see how this one's going to look as well. So the pearl, once again, we bring this one out. It's just a very soft pearl, very nice for weddings, embellishments, bits like that. Got that lovely shimmer to it. These are so highly concentrated with mica.
Right.
That's the bit that's giving them the shimmer. And you might think, oh, well, these are like a gilding wax. They are like a gilding wax. These are a water-based gilding wax. So it means there's no solvents in them. There's none of the nasty chemicals we try to avoid. They're just a nice, friendly product to work with.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it being on your skin. You don't have to worry about washing it because it's water-based. So it'll come straight off your fingertips, straight off your applicators.
Perfect.
Once again, when we look at that one, so we can see that we've got the lovely tone coming through from the black card underneath, and it's not hiding the black as such, but it's just giving it that lovely pearl finish, and it's doing the same on the white card.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do to actually create the card I wanted to share with you, we're just going to pop these two to one side and place their lids back on them so that they're nice and safe, ready to use again. And we're going to go in for our colours. This time we're going to start off with our Indulgent Red, and this to me is one of the reasons that I love these. It's all about precision. We've got several different products with mica in the Cosmic Shimmer range, but most of them come with big applicator sponges that you're trying to apply over vast areas. With this, it's all about being able to go in and pick up just a small area and just kiss the top of it.
Jamie, would you mind if for a moment if I come across and stood next to you and just watched how you're popping it on and
Absolutely.
just see, you okay with that one?
I think I refuse.
Yeah?
Of course I don't. Come over. So all I'm doing is a circular motion, and a circular motion is the way to go. Again, with several of these products, we don't recommend that you do them in circular motions because you'd push the mica out to the edges.
Okay.
But these have been specially formulated that your mica will still stay in place. So you can just go in and highlight the areas you want to and go over the top of them. Now this is a 3D embossing folder, so I've got quite a nice bit of depth to this one. But it doesn't have to be. It could be flat cardstock, it could be acetate, it could be mirror card, it can be whatever surface you wish to be working on. I'm yet to find a surface that I don't like them on top of.
Right, okay.
We'll then go in for our next colour. So we've done our red roses. This time we're going to go in for our misty teal.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, I love this. It's a very greeny teal, which I know teal is, but to me it's got more of a tone of greens in it, which I think is gorgeous. So we're going to fill in these gaps. Now, if we go over the top of the red, one colour will cover the other. And yeah, that's quite nice. So I can show you that as well. So if we go over the red intentionally, you can see even with this really dominant red shade, the teal will still win. So again, if you want to layer them, you can do. Maybe you're using an embossing folder and that part of the flower you just want to go in and highlight just the centre. You can absolutely do that if you want to. But we're just going to carry on. We'll highlight a bit more of this. And if you want to leave it so you've got this sort of sharp red and the teal, you can absolutely do that. But I quite like it if we make them look a little bit more vintage. Yeah. So this time I'm going to bring in, let's go for golden bronze. And we're going to take a small amount out onto our mat once again. Okay. We're going to pick that up again on my fingertip. So we're not using too much of the product. And we're just going to start putting this over the top of both the red and the teal, just in small areas, just to give it a bit more of a vintage, old-fashioned feel. Yeah. You can absolutely do that if you want to, or you can leave them. Choice is yours. You can also use them with our blending tools too. Okay. So we've got these on today's show. You get a set of 2 of these with your replacement foams, and then there's also a pack of 10 of these instead if you prefer. Perfect. So if you do wish to, we'll use the bit that's on the brow here. If you do wish to cover larger areas, you can absolutely load them onto these and go for larger areas. So if you're looking at this and thinking, well, that's grand, but I also want to be able to team it into my mats and layers. Maybe I've done that bit on the top, but I want to do exactly the same to my mats and layers. Just take out your Gilded Touch, load some onto the bottom of your applicator, as much or as little as you think you're going to need, and then we can start applying this down the edges of our cardstock. Oh, I've picked up a bit of the green there, trying to be over to one side, not always the best way to be, but we can absolutely do that, and then matching our layers so it all coordinates perfectly, which I think is just such a lovely way to use a product because it's all tying together for you. It really, really is. And then if you want to edge the flowers like one of the cards you held up, you can do that as well. Yeah. So let's carry on and we'll complete the card, shall we? And then I'll worry about my mess. Let's do it. I'm going to go back and then have a look at the comments while you're doing this next. But I just want to see really, really close up, you know, how fab that these really, really are. I mean, that's so good. Love how you were able to just layer them on top of each other. Absolutely. Other thing I noticed as well, you were using the same finger going straight into the other colour. If I was at home, I'd probably worry about cleaning off my fingertip between colours, but absolutely you don't have to. You don't have to. Again, it will layer. Yeah. They're also very quick drying, so if we go back to like this product panel here that we did, that is completely dry. So again, you can work on top of them, you can stamp on top of them if you wish to. You could add more products on top of them. It's just a good foundation layer for you to then build up on top of as well. So we're going to bring in a piece of vellum for this one, and I was going to go for a lovely With Love wrap round, the same as on my card, but instead what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a piece of vellum. I've already gone ahead and just torn the edges. We're going to fold this over on the side here, and we're going to add that onto the side of the card. So a bit of our wet glue again, wrapping that part round. We're going to pick up the other end and bring that one in. We'll add a bit down there too. I do love torn vellum. I love how you get that white edge to it. I love it as well, Jamie. And then you've got that sort of antique feel. Again, if you wanted to take your Gilded Touch and rub them against the sides, you could do that too. We're then going to load that onto our card. And then we'll bring in, let's go for Celebrate from our words instead. And we'll add in the Celebrate, so we team in the black and the white again. And I quite like the harsh square against the torn edges. I think that's quite a nice idea. It does work, doesn't it? A couple of little gems on this one to complete it, the same as I did on the original one. And that would complete our card. So again, nothing that's complicated. You know, we've literally taken the colour, we've popped it on with our finger, and we've added a torn edge on top of it, and a little word. You know, that's got to be the easiest crafting of going, really, hasn't it? Well, look at the effect. That is absolutely, as I've just said there, that wow factor. You know, if you go into any, you know, your handmade stores, your boutique stores where you're going to see these ones here, absolutely is a winner every single time. And that's one that you'd be able to replicate time and time again, you know, if you were wanting to do it in some kind of batch-making form or something, but get that incredible effect when it comes to your Gilded Touch. Right, let's have a little bit of a recap when it comes to these colours as well. So this one here, the Gilded Touch 5-piece selection. This is the one that you've got that misty teal in. You've got your misty teal, you've got your tarnish gold, you've also got your pearl, you have also got your autumn bronze,
and you've also got your silver note. So you've seen these ones here and how you can use them in the same way that Jamie just used them a moment ago. I did use obviously that teal. Let's bring that one back in. You're getting all 5 of these ones, $29.25 or $45. That is giving you savings 10%. If you are in Club Inspire, you are of course going to be paying less than that one. That's then going to be $23.40 or $36. What we've got is we've got this embossed stripe for you just to see these colours here, view these colours. You know, we've got the teal down at the bottom there, including that red that we are away to show you just in a moment. So that is one option that you might want to go for. What we've got as well, we've got the gold option, which Johnny was saying just beforehand, it looks as though all of you, or most of you, let's say, are going for both options. Same amount has gone from both of these ones. So you are approaching 40% gone in actual fact with these ones here. This is the Cosmic Shimmer. This is the Golden Gilded Touch. 5-piece selection, $29.25, $45. You are saving that 10%, platinum being $23.40 or $36. So within this one here, you've got, I'm not going to go through all the colours here, but what I'll do is, because we'll come back and we'll go through all these colours in great detail just shortly. So we do want to get back to Jamie, but just to let you see, without, I mean, look at that one there. Within the red here, the Indulgent Red. Many ways in which you can use them. We're going to see them again just shortly with Jamie. But that one is your Golden Gilded Touch 5-piece collection. You'll have also spotted Jamie using the Wordies, and we've got them right here. So we've got 2 options. Half the stock has gone of the everyday. So within these ones here, you're going to be getting your black and your white. So these are your Wordie sentiment sheets, everyday 4-pack, 6 by 8 inches. So you've got 2 that are black, 2 that are white. If you managed to see Jamie in Wake Up Call this morning, you'll have seen how certainly with the white, you can absolutely colour that backdrop completely in many of your colouring mediums that you so wish. But you can also do the same on the black, so that it's the words that are then coloured. You're just going to take your craft knife and ruler or your guillotine paper trimmer, and you're going to cut them to the ones that you want. £2.99 or $4.50, or platinum comes down to £2.39 or $3.60. That one being your everyday. And if you do want to go for the other option, which is inspirational, what we'll do just in a moment, once I've gone over these ones, we'll quickly nip back to Jamie, because I know he's got those ink backgrounds that he showed you, or inked Wordies within Wake Up Call. But these ones here also being a 4-pack, 6 inches by 8 inches, 2 black, 2 white within this one. And this is where, exactly the same as that last one I showed you there, you can completely colour over the top. Also $2.99 or $4.50, with the platinum price also £2.39 or $3.60. Really, really handy to pop onto your cards or projects. Maybe you're not wanting to go out and stamp a sentiment. Maybe you're not wanting to use a die cut. You just want to go in straight with one of these Wordies. Really, really handy. And Jamie, you were showing us this morning in Wake Up Call really how you could be inking them.
I did, yes. So these are the 2 sheets I actually did this morning. But just a quick little demo, just with a smoothie, a little bit of ink on the tip of my smoothie. This is just a dye-based ink. We can go straight over the black sheets with the white writing, or over the white sheets with the black writing, and just blend your colours together. These are also designed to be foiled too, so they're printed of the right ink. If you do get into your foiling, you can absolutely do that with these too. I love colouring them. I just think that's such a nice way to tone them.
That is, isn't it?
To match whatever project you're doing. Instead of buying endless sheets and endless colours, do this, ink them to match.
Yeah. There we go, you've got your sentiments that are going to match perfectly every single time. So there you go, that one there that I just showed you a moment ago was the Inspirational Wordies 4-pack, 6 inches by 8 inches. So you've got that option, or of course you've got the everyday one, should you wish as well. Certainly at that price, I think by the looks of it as well, what Johnny's saying is most of you are going for both of them at the same time. Right, let's have a look at some stencils now. Stencils, these are actually going to work really, really well with your die sets that Jamie was showing you earlier on today. We'll see them again later on, whereas you've got, I keep calling them the fold backs. Create that really, really fab fold back. These ones here are your outline duo stencils. This is a 6-piece stencil set. So if you instantly see how you've got all of these tiny dots, this one here being the rectangle. Now within these ones here, if you're going to team them with your dies that Jamie brought earlier on, you absolutely can do. A really useful tip that Jamie was saying as well, if you are going to ink through them, really ideal to use a brush, your inking brush, so that it gets into all the tiny little dots. But this is all of them you're getting. You're not having to pick or choose. You're going to get the rectangles, you're going to get the 2 squares, and also the 2 circles as well. £20.25 or $25, saving 10%, £16.20 platinum or $20.52 platinum. I've got a few finished samples I'll show you, but Jamie, where would you be using these ones? How can you use them?
You can use them in every background you're doing. I wasn't planning on doing them in my next demo, but we're going to bring them in for that as well. So we'll sneak them in a little bit. But yeah, they're great for making backgrounds. You can use the in and out dies to layer the shapes on top of them, so you're masking off areas if you'd prefer to. You can use them with the in and out dies to make borders, frames, etc. with them too. Yeah, the stencils are great fun.
Awesome, brilliant. What we'll do, so we can go straight back to Jamie, let's have a look at a few finished samples with the stencils and how other ways that you can be using them. For instance, as Jamie was just saying, your in and out dies, but these are really, really beautiful to have. Maybe you want that faux matte and layer, you don't want to do the die cut, why not use your stencils here with your ink and your brushes, of course, to create that framework as well. Whether you're using them standalone or in conjunction with your in and out fold back dies, of course you absolutely can. So that was the Stencil Duo 6-pack set by Jamie Rodgers, £20.25, $25.65. That gives you the saving of 10%, but platinum £16.20 or $20.52. Right, I'm going to be quiet for now. We're going to jump straight back to Jamie and see what we're ready to do next.
Okay, this is just a little mini demo, but it's something I really loved, so I wanted to share it with you. I put this panel up on my Facebook page the other day, and people went quite wild for this, so I thought I would share it with you.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, all it is MDF. And we all have MDF kits laying around, don't we, and bits that we sort of want to colour, and sometimes we're brave enough to jump in, and other days we think, oh, I don't know if I can tackle that. Well, to me, this is lovely, because it's a really easy technique to do. So I have my piece of MDF here. We're going to go in for our colours, and we're going to use them directly out the tube. So we're going to use Misty Teal to begin with, and you can put out smaller amounts of this if you're doing it at home. I'm going to go for quite a bit, so I don't have to keep going back to them, to be honest with you. So we're going to do Misty Teal. We're going to go in for some red as well. This is our lovely Indulgent red. We're going to add in a few pieces of that dotted around, and then we'll add in some, let's go for Tarnished Gold as well. And again, you can, you've got 10 colours to choose from between both sets, so you can be as creative as you wish to be, or theme them to the collection or item that you're doing. We're then going to add in Enchanted Golds. This is our more pearly gold, where we just did the original gold. That one's quite an intense traditional gold. So I actually quite like it when you look at it like this.
I do as well.
It reminds me of them chocolate bars you get with all the chocolate bits on top, the Smarties.
Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking like a random artist palette, so to speak. But it does.
Trust me to be thinking of food. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a blending brush once again, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to start off just in one corner, and I'm going to start mixing the colours together. Now on this one, I'm going to keep my brush quite flat towards the MDF. So we end up with quite a thin texture, or not even really a texture. And I'm purposely trying to lift it up in areas just so we don't muddy all of the colours together. Instead, I'm just trying to mix them in small areas, so we've got sort of 1 or 2 colours in an area instead of trying to contaminate all of them. And we're just going to go through these, circular motion over the top of them. So if you wish to leave it relatively flat, you can do as I just did for that one. And once set, that will be a relatively flat panel, and it will end up looking something along the lines of this one. So you've got all that lovely mica going on. So that's one version. We'll put them out of the way for the second. Another way in which we can do this is if we'll stick to the same colours, so you've got the same idea. So we'll do the same teal part again. And it's pretty much the same process. So bear with me while I catch myself up to this one. We'll go in again with our Enchanted. And every time you do this, it's going to be slightly different, which I
Yeah.
think is really good fun. I look at the reds and the greens in this, or the teals and the reds, and I think, well, actually, you know, how many advent calendars do you see now that are made out of MDF?
Exactly.
And you think, do I want to cover each of them 25 drawers in paper? And am I going to be able to find enough paper to match that's all the same? And these sort of questions come into mind. Well, with this, we can do them to match.
That's a
very
really good
easily.
point, yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I've dropped my gold. So
Okay.
instead of going for gold for this one, we're going to use our bronze to save me going to the floor and trying to find it. So slightly different to the last one we did. And we'll leave that one there. We'll bring back in our applicator brush again, and we're going to do exactly the same. But instead of, as we swirl, instead of leaving them relatively flat, we're going to take the brush and we're going to pounce. And as we go over this, what we will do is we will start increasing our texture, because as the brush comes away from it, it will pull the product up with it.
Right.
So you can end up with more texture to your panels, and it will dry and it will maintain that finish. You can also go around the edges. So if you're somebody who doesn't like the burnt edge of the MDF, you can go around and cover that up too. But it will just give you a bit more depth. Here's a panel which has been dried. So hopefully, I don't know, you can possibly hear that, my fingers running across it. You've got the texture, where with the first one I did, lovely and smooth.
Yeah.
So it's down to you, and if you wish to pounce as you go, or leave it flat. Now, I mentioned we would bring in the stencils. As I say, this is just a silly little demo, really, just to show you how they work.
Silly
on MDF.
little demo. This
Well,
is
it's,
incredible.
you know, it's not actually like going off to finish a project. So bringing in a stencil, let's bring in some of our product once again. This time we're going to use the autumn bronze, and we're going to pick this up directly on the tip of my blending brush. Now, one thing I will encourage you to do, as soon as you can, put your blending brushes, put your foams off of the top of your blending tools straight into water.
Okay.
This is a water-based product, but it will dry very hard on your brushes, and I don't want you to damage any of your blending brushes. So do try and put them straight into water the moment you're finished with them. So a few little dots through on that corner. So we could go straight over the top of this with our same Gilded touch. Or, because I want to share with you as many ideas as I can, we'll also do the same, but this time we're going to do archival ink, so that you can see you can be stamping on top of this. So if you wanted to heat emboss an image, or if you wish to just stamp on top of it, you could do these techniques. You can add more to the top. So maybe if this was a Christmas panel, maybe stamping some Christmas hollies or poinsettias or details, whatever you wish to on top of them, you could absolutely do. I'll take that one away there. We can now see that we've got them black dots in both corner. That one from ink, this one from our Gilded touch. So again, just a couple of ways we could use them.
Absolutely phenomenal. And do you know what? The comments have gone crazy with everyone loving these ones here. But actually, the chit chat in with the comments, everyone's saying how much they're absolutely loving the demo for sure. Going back to some of the finished cards I showed earlier on, a lot of love for these ones as well. We've got EVB on YouTube saying, I guess I might need to have both. I think I need the red. You know, well, it goes to show most of you are going to be going for both of them. We've got Heidi is saying, okay, Jamie, this will be a question for yourself. What's the difference between these cosmic shimmers and the jars with the sponges?
Okay, that's a very good question, because we do have our metallic gilding polishes which come in the jars with the sponges on top. Couple of points to this. There is more mica in this product, as in our Gilded touch, than there is in the products with the jars. Mica is a very expensive component, if that's the right word. So when we chock these full of that, we really mean they're chocked full of it. It also means that when we come to apply it with the other polishes, we should stay into a sort of vertical stripe line with them, because if you start going for a circular motion, you push the mica out to the edges, and you will end up with like a halo effect around the design. Where with this one, when we apply it with a circular motion, you'll notice that the mica doesn't go to the edges. It will stay perfectly where it needs to be. So you've got that part to it. You'll also find this is creamier. So when you come to apply it with the other ones, if you was to try and hook that out on your fingertip, that can be a bit tricky because it doesn't really blend as effortlessly. This one will blend for you. It's a more creamy substance. So it's the way in which you're applying it. It's the ultimate amount of mica in the product, and it's the versatility on how you can use it. So hopefully that helps.
Oh, absolutely it did. Thank you so much for answering that one, Jamie. Hopefully that's helped you as well. Heidi, Debbie Smith on Facebook. Oh, wow, these Gilded touches look amazing, don't they just? EVB is saying, all of these ideas are making me want to leave work and get crafting. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Just to say, we can't condone leaving work just yet when you're not meant to. You know, please, you know, do the jobs, do what you need to do, and then if you are going to leave a bit early, just double check with your boss, your line manager, that you can do. We take no responsibility for anyone ducking out of work to do some crafting. Mary is saying gorgeous card samples. We've got Mary said such a beautiful card, Jamie. Rose is saying gorgeous. Pammy is saying I love these, right up my mixed media street. We've got Agile Rachel is saying I asked, aren't these just gorgeous on the MDF? They really, really are as well if you're putting them on MDF. Shane is saying, yeah, he's given me a new idea instead of using paper stock. Kind of what Jamie was on about a moment ago of things like advent calendars. You've got that bulk coverage to do. Really lovely way of doing these ones. Eleanor is saying, yeah, they really are. I'm thinking about getting them all. Got to be quick, Johnny's saying. Just over 40%'s gone from both of them. Both options, just over 40% is gone. So if you are humming and hawing, get in there straight away to get yours secure. Jean is saying, wow, these are fabulous. Mary on YouTube is saying, oh wow, I love the texture that it adds. Mary is also saying, it's a beautiful demo, Jamie, not a silly little demo at all. No, that's why I said, that's why I want to point out, because it was far from silly, absolutely inspiring. Bubble and Squeak on YouTube is saying, stunning results from these. And last but by no means least, before we go back to Jamie, in actual fact, it's a question to Jamie, which is another good one. This one is from Jean. Craig, is he using special paper?
No.
There you go.
No. The paper I tend to be using is our foundations cardstock from Creative Expressions. So if you ever see me working on like the black that we did on the first card, that's our black foundations card. It is a lovely card, but no, you don't need to have that to use these products. As I mentioned, they'll dry on any porous or non-porous surface, and that really applies to all cardstocks as well. So if you've got Crafter's Companion cardstock or anybody else's, you'll be absolutely fine.
Excellent, brilliant, thank you for that, Jamie. Right, all up to date when it comes to your comments. We've now got Rachel that is giving us a helping hand as our social media guru, so get your comments in, any questions. Still got about 25 minutes to go. So in the meantime, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to watch from bird's eye view.
So this time, because we keep telling you these are water-based, I think it's important we show you what that actually means and why we need that to work. So this is the card that we're going to be doing. Now I've used one of our diamond poinsettias I'm going to go for, because I think that's what it's called. Diamond poinsettia embossing folders. It's a 3D folder, but again, you could do this technique with any 3D folder. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've already embossed my cardstock. Again, just our black foundations card, and I've laid that down, and I'm going to be working on the reverse of it. So this is the texture we would go across and sort of highlight with our Gilded touch. This time we're going to work on the back of it. So instead of having the depth, we've got the deboss, we've got little troughs, as I like to call them, to work within. We're going to take our two colours. I'm going to use Misty Teal and Golden Bronze. I'm going to start off with the first one, and I'm going to place a small amount, maybe like a pea-size amount-ish, into the tray. I'm going to do the same with the Misty Teal while I'm here. I'm going to squidge that one into here, so we've got it to work with. We can do more if we need to, but there's no point taking it out of the tube and then wishing we'd put it back in. So we'll now add our water, and you can see that these will break down straight away. So bringing in the water, you've now got a paint. So you don't have to go and buy a mica shimmery paint, because you've got it. It's in that tube. So it's a really good way to sort of offset your costs slightly, because you're getting more than one use from a product. So we're going to take off a small amount there, so we're not using too much. But again, we're not actually going to be too particular with this. You're going to watch this and think, oh, I'm like Debbie, I need my glasses. But no, actually, all I'm going to do is just really quickly slap a bit of colour in here, and I'm not worried about the edges at all. You could, if you want to be, you can be more precise, but I'm going to show you a bit of a tip to cover that up. Okay. We're then going to go over these areas. So I'm going to get carried away, sorry Craig. Here for hours watching me paint snowflakes, but we'll just do a couple of them. And then we're going to go in with our lovely Golden Bronze. We're going to do exactly the same again. If I was at home, I would of course clean my brush, but I'm going to be naughty. We're just going to mix this up. I know the bronze is going to win, and we're going to end up with a lovely shade of bronze, albeit with a little bit of teal mixed in for good measure. But it's going to create another lovely paint for us to work with. So we can now go in and we can highlight these small areas and pick those up. We'll just work around this snowflake, shall we, for speed. I always think that that's something you probably don't need to see at home, is me painting a whole background. Yeah. but it's but it is lovely to get carried away with them. But the tip here is, obviously I've been very messy around my edges. Now I will do it with this one, but I would normally give it a minute to dry. Although it's a very quick drying product, I've added water to it. So obviously the more water involved in it, the longer it's going to take to dry. But we'll go for it. I'm going to use an old ink pad. This is an archival ink pad. Again, if it's dry, you don't really have to worry about how old the ink pad is. All I'm going to do is take the ink pad and go over the top of the embossing.
Oh my word.
And that will frame all of my painting. So the minute I take the ink away, that's perfectly framed. I didn't have to paint that perfectly. I didn't have to spend hours working on it because the ink's framed it for me.
That, wow.
And it's such a simple hack. I love doing this.
Never
with embossing
seen that
folders.
before.
I'm not somebody who's good at painting. I'm not somebody who's good at colouring. I often confess this. And I love to find little hacks that I can come up with that make it easy.
Yeah.
And to me, this product works brilliantly for that style of technique because I've got the value in the product, I've got the incredible shimmer, and I can go over the top with the ink and just cover up any messy bits I've created.
What
Very
an
simple to do.
incredible technique.
If you would prefer, you can also do that and then heat emboss it.
Okay.
So we could use a pigment ink pad, then we could heat emboss in another colour, or we could add clear powder over the top of it, and then you're going to frame all of that lovely painting you've just done with these incredible paints and actually end up with a really top finished product as well because you've got that emboss in there too. But I'll bring in this one. This is the one I've already done. So that one's already been painted, that one's already been infilled and gone over the top. And we're going to add some glue to the back of this and put it onto our card.
Rosalind has put mind blowing, blowing in big capital letters. Absolutely, absolutely, mind blowing indeed.
If I can come up with a little, let's call them a hack like that I feel we can share.
Yeah.
I always think that's the best part of the job, isn't it?
It is,
You can come up with something that you think people are going to enjoy and find easy to do, and especially if you're working with a great product, it just makes life so much easier. So we'll place that down in the middle of our card. I've gone for quite a nice large card this time. I'm going to bring in for the word snow, and we're just going to place that over the bottom there. Oh, and I've got a gem that's trying to escape. He should be over there, so we'll try and put him back in place. And that will complete our card.
Jamie, that's incredible.
So again, oh, it's very wonky. I really should look before I plant. Let's give you that one.
Do you want Debbie's glasses?
That one back up to. I told you I do, didn't I? I do wear glasses.
But
never
no,
wear them on air,
seriously.
but I should. Clearly, looking at how wonky that one is.
That's awesome. And to think that's come from the Gilded Touch as well. And that little hack, that little tip that you gave there.
We'll give up for that one,
Absolutely
Kate, and come back to that one later, I think. Let's just give up. Bad job done.
That is just one of so many different ways that you can use these when it comes to your Gilded Touch. Absolutely fab. 5-piece. Both sets here as well. So you've got two sets that you could go for, either the Golden Gilded Touch or the Gilded Touch, which is on your screen right now. $29.25, $45. New to us here on Crafters TV today. Still going to get that 10% saving, although it's new. Not surprised that it's really busy. It's now approaching half the stock has gone. £23.40 platinum or $36. We're going to wait to have a look at something else, but just while those comments are coming in there, Bubble and Squeak is saying stunning results from these. Pammy is saying, oh, I just remember I've got store credit. Oh, there you go, use that on the website for sure. Patty is saying, always love when Jamie is on. He always has great tips and tricks with the Creative Expressions products, doesn't he just? Rosalind saying, you've given me some ideas to use on some of my MDF and canvases. Brilliant. That's what we'll love to hear when Jamie and the team come along. Eva saying, that is like liquid gold and it's so beautiful. It was, wasn't it? Mary saying, how cool is that tip? And Crafty Angie is saying, oh, we're going to come to this in a moment. What's the size of the circle and hexagon dies? We'll just talk about them just in a second. And Anna saying, love that painting technique, as I am terrible at rubbing on with these types of products. There we go. Follow suit as to what Jamie's just showed you there. Right. Here we go, let's have a look at the star collection. This is your in and out 4-piece star collection by Jamie Rodgers. You will get 42 dies in total here. We're going to see these in a lot more detail come at 6 o'clock here in the UK. So Jamie will be on at the start of the show, 6 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, before myself and Debbie come in for cartload just after. Right, so this one here is the star collection. So let's bring the actual dies in here. So these ones are your in and out. You're not just going to be using them in the in and out or fold back fashion. What you've got here is your 5 dies. So this is the hearts here. So you've got your layering dies, nesting dies if you want to call them, but then you've got your half dies here, which enable you to create that fold back feature. Some incredible things that you can make. I'm not going to go through lots of samples within this section of the show because we'll come back at 6 o'clock, but it gives you that idea where you can create that fold back. So this set here is the stars. You've also got the ovals that we can see here. We've also got the hexagon, which we have got here. So we've got the hexagon, we've got the fold back as well, and now we've also got the square. So we've got the square here. So just to say, when it comes to the hexagon, so this was a question for Crafty Angie, the hexagon, the largest one is 13.5 inches by 11.7 inches, and the smallest one is 2.0 inches. Sorry, is that centimetres? Centimetres. 13.5 by 11.7 centimetres. That's the largest, and the smallest is 2.0 by 1.7. So that's the hexagon. So that is your first option on the screen, £50.99 or $85.99. Platinum does come down to £40.79 or $68.79. And we do have another option for you, these ones here being the heart. So this is the heart collection where you get the love hearts. Now, same concept when it comes to these ones. You've got your layering dies, but you've also got your half dies that's creating that fold back. You've got the love hearts. You have also got your circles. You have also got your rectangles, and you've also got your octagon. So all of these ones, you've got some layering dies, plus you've got the hexagon, the layering dies, plus you've got the half dies. So these are going to work beautifully together. You can, of course, use them separately. Jamie showed you a couple of ways within Wake Up Call, but as I say, he's going to be back at 6 o'clock here in the UK, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, to show you more. Just to say, for the circle ones, the largest die is 13.7 and the smallest one is 1.7 in diameter. That's for the circle die. So hopefully that's helped you as well. Right, let's see if we can squeeze one more demo in with Jamie. Jamie, what we're going to do now?
So this is the card that we're going to create this time, and again I wanted to show you a bit more about our water-based element to these, because I've shown you them being brushed over, I've shown you them on the MDF, I've shown you inlay painting with them. Let's do a bit of a wash with them as well, shall we? So this time all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my colours, I'm going to put them out onto a tile this time. It could be my glass mat, but I'm trying to be tidy. Trying to be. I might not be level, but we'll try and be tidy. There's limits. So I've done misty teal, I've added in some tarnished gold. We haven't used silver note yet, have we? So let's bring out a bit of the silver note over that side. And, oh, let's go for some rose gold as well. That might do us. But let's have a little look. We're going to take some water, we're going to mist over the top of each of the colours, and we're going to pick them up with just a wide paintbrush and break them down. We might go back and add a bit more in a second, but we're going to take just a few stripes of these going down a piece of card. We'll come on to the black one in a moment and show you that as well. So we'll do some white ones. We're going to go in with the misty teal ones, mix that up a bit, and then we can infill our gap in the middle. If we feel we need to, we can mist over the top of the card too. But I'm quite happy with how this one's going. We'll bring in the rose gold, we'll mix that one up nice and neatly, and then we can start infilling that one in the middle. And we'll bring a bit more of that up to the top here. I love mixed media backgrounds like this. It's just so easy to do. And again, hopefully it's giving you inspiration of how you could use the products other than necessarily how you might feel they're intended. Because we know we can brush them on over items, so it's nice to see different ways in what we can create with them. So we'll just do a bit of a layer there to get in the middle of these pieces.
I can tell you so many, have got so many ideas from what you've been showing us just within this last 45 minutes or so.
How cool is that though? That's a lovely
Isn't that
background.
cool?
Now we'll do the same colours to keep with continuity, if I can remember what ones they were. So I'll bring out that one, and we had our tarnished gold, if I remember rightly, and we used some silver note, didn't we? And what was the other colour? Did we have rose gold? We had rose gold, didn't we? I really should have put them separate. Let's put a bit of rose gold down there. We'll add in a bit more water, so we've got something to break these ones down as well. And then we'll go on to our black card in the same manner. So we'll start off here with our lovely misty teal, and we'll bring that straight over the top. Now what you're going to see this time is our mica is going to dance slightly differently on top of the black to what it did the white. So you're still going to keep that teal tone, but you're also going to see quite a lot of silver coming through in this one, which is from where the black's underneath it. We can then bring in the gold. We'll add on some gold. And then we'll bring in our lovely rose gold as well. And we'll place some of that going down these middle areas. Now to me these are sheets that you could emboss, so we could put them for our folders. We could stamp on them. We could die cut from them. You know, the limits are endless, to be honest, because you've just created cardstock, but fancy cardstock out of basic black cardstock or white. And I just think that's a really fun way in which you could use them and fun around with them. So I'll place these off to one side, and I'm going to bring in a panel I've already got. Now, here somewhere I have a stamp. Now, this is a stamp I know you have on your website. It's designed by Sam Paul. It's, I believe, called French Script. I remembered that before. You remember that one? And then you get here and you sort of forget the exact name, but it's our lovely script stamp. So we're going to load our stamp onto our stamp press. We're going to pop on a couple of magnets to hold this panel down. This is one I've already worked on, so you can see it's nice and dry, ready to work. We'll place our stamp roughly in the middle. We'll use some archival ink for this, but again, whatever ink you wish to work with. More what I'm trying to tell you is you don't have to be using a specialist ink to stamp on top of them. It's not like it's an ultra coated surface that you might need maybe a StazOn ink or something like that. Archival, Memento, Versaclair, any of those. I should imagine half your Spectrum Noir ones would work equally as well. So whatever brand you've got, and we can then stamp on top of them. Wow. And I just love that. I think that's such a nice, neat, vintage background. So I'll take this one off. We're still going to keep that pearl. And usually I find with our mica products, when the ink starts to dry and absorb into the card, the mica will also shine through on the wording because of the mica is so intense. So I can't guarantee you're going to find that as well as I do. But here's one I've done earlier, and I think you can certainly see the mica winning on the top of these words.
Oh, it's bouncing.
Can you see that? The mica still shines through. That's as the ink absorbs into it. Your mica part will win over and that'll shine through. So we'll bring on some layers and we'll just add these down. So we've got our black layer that we're going to take our tape off of. We'll try and do this one a bit more level than the last one. Oh dear. There we go, that might do. And then we'll bring in this one with our stamped image. And I've already added a little sentiment onto the bottom corner of this one. Again, we could have used a wordy. So if you're looking at the wordies thinking, well, I could have added one of them.
Right enough.
Absolutely. This background's very general, so we could have added any topper element to it. I've just gone for one of Sue Wilson's stained glass window dies, just for speed, but you could add on all sorts. Oh, and I've got a flower. Let's not forget the flower. The flower is done from the black card. So where I've worked on the white to do my background, I've used the black part of the card that I've painted to cut out my flower. So this is just die cut out of that card. We'll add that on as well, just on the corner, and we'll add in a couple of leaves as well, also cut from the black cardstock too. We'll place one of them on that corner and one coming out that way. We'll push the boundaries of glue and hope the flower stays on. But that completes that little card.
Inspiring, absolutely inspiring. Look at that, what you can create from your Gilded touch. It just goes to show, as Jamie was saying, you don't just have to rub them on. You know, you can use them with your water and your paintbrush.
And to me, that's where the value comes in, because you've got more than one version out of them, and to me, that's always lovely.
Really, really good. Really works handy being water-based, as sure. Rightio, Jamie, if you could get your demos up and ready. We've got Debbie's here from the Craft Along. We managed to find this one. It's not gone walkabout. However, apparently, it didn't go walkabout. It was our fault. It was sitting on the coffee table. Debbie did think ahead and leave it for us, and couldn't find it. We were, yeah. Yes, you're right, Johnny. I'm going to say it, Johnny. I'm going to say it because I can count myself in that. We were man-looking. We were man-looking. We just couldn't see it. There's it. Yeah, in the cupboard. Can't see it. It's right there in front of you. Literally, the coffee table is right there, right at the side of me. Never seen it. But we do have Debbie's Craft Along card. So let's have a look. Let's start off with Debbie's here, being number 1. So you're going to have literally just a couple of minutes to get voting. So number 1 may be your winner from Debbie's Craft Along. Or let's have a look at Jamie's cards that he's done within this hour here to see. You might want to choose one of these.
None of mine compare at all. Debbie's is absolutely stunning. These were very quick, I apologise. But this will be your number 2 card.
It is, but you have just blown them out the water.
Oh, bless you. Number 3 was our MDF with our bit of stenciling, so I don't know if that really counts, but we're going to go with it. Then number 4 is going to be our snow background one with our inks. And number 5 is going to be our hot air balloon one.
Perfect. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. The choice is yours. Literally just have a couple of minutes and then Rachel's going to tally them up and send them across to us. Mary on YouTube is saying, loving the die sets, genius idea. Bubble and Squeak is saying, great effect on the painted stripes. There really are. Also, Bubble and Squeak is asking Jamie, saying, what exactly is archival ink, please?
Archival ink? It's designed that it's a permanent ink and it's archival safe. So if you're scrapbooking with it, again, it hasn't got any of the nasty elements in it that's going to damage any of your photos or anything nasty that's going to sort of affect them. It's also fade resistant as well. It's permanent, it's waterproof, so if you want to do your watercolouring with them, you can do. It's done by Ranger, so you probably know of Ranger, but it's, to be honest, it's just one of the black ink pads I had to one side. It's not one you have to use with these products at all.
Yeah, there you go. And you will say, you know, okay, we have our ink pads, but that is one that you will find other craft experts out there in the industry be using. So hopefully that answered your question. Bubble and Squeak on YouTube. Right, let's have a look at these ones here. The Gilded Touch. I am not surprised John has just said it is half the stock is gone from each of them. Each of them, half the stock is gone. This one here is your Gilded Touch 5-piece selection, $29.25 or $45. It's new today to us, to Crafters TV, so you are saving your 10% on these ones. Platinum price is, however, going to come down to $23.40 or $36. You're getting your Misty Teal, you're getting your Pearl, you're getting your Tarnished Gold, your Autumn Bronze, and also your Silver Note. These, I will just go through these ones really, really quickly as Gwen pop these together for Jamie and for us. So these are absolutely beautiful. As Jamie was saying earlier on, nothing is spectacular, especially about the cardstock. You know, it was their cardstock at Creative Expressions, but look at that one there. All these colours I'm showing you here are from this set. That teal is absolutely beautiful. Please don't think that all that you're going to do is rub them onto your embossed layers. You're going to be using them in many, many ways. Whether Jamie's just demonstrated to us in front of your eyes or even just verbally the ways that you can use these ones. Spectacular. So that's one of the options. Clear to see that all of you are pretty much going for both of them at the same time, which I'm not surprised. But then our second option here. So the second option is going to be your Golden Gilded Touch, also $29.25 or $45, saving that 10%. If you are platinum, that one also comes down to $23.40 or $36 for you guys stateside. This colour entails rose gold, enchanted gold, warm gold, indulgent red, or golden bronze. That's your 5 colours from these ones here. So what we've got is a little swatches that we can see. So we can see onto your cardstock. Maybe you can't reach to a collection of Pearl cardstock, whether it's our own Centura Pearl or other branded colours. What a lovely way, and really when you think about it, an inexpensive way of creating your own Pearl cardstock. Then this one here, you don't need to cover the whole card. You could, of course, just do little sections, chop them up into size, and then you can then colour them with your Golden Gilded Touch. So we've got both of those options you might want to go for. As I said a moment ago, most of you are going for both of them. We do have the stencils as well on the website. We've got the wordies as well. Later on, we're going to come back. We're going to be having a look at these in and out dies as well. But we do have a winner, and I can tell you it's not Debbie, it is Jamie, and it's number 5, the last one that Jamie just done.
Really? I'm quite surprised by that.
There you
I
go.
thought if I stood any chance it would be the snowflake, but I didn't think I would win.
Yeah.
I really didn't. That was such an
Absolutely.
amazing card by Debbie.
Rachel did say, tough vote, lots of careful counting needed, but demo of the show was number 5.
Oh, well, thank you all
There we
very,
go.
very much. That took twice today due to our hiding of Debbie's cards this morning.
Yes, yeah, we won't tell anyone we hid it. Yeah, we won't tell anyone. No, joking aside, incredible. The way that you have used all of these ones within this 1 hour slot here, absolutely phenomenal. What we're going to expect in the your final stint
Well,
later
we're
on?
going to move back to the in and out dies later, so I'm going to try and show you how to do a little mini album, a couple of different card fold ideas we can do with them as well. Yeah, lots I'd like to fit in. I'd just like to stay, to be honest, for hours,
Yeah.
especially with these. Again, the Gilded Touch little cap, I think there's a lot more techniques to come with them that you'll get to see.
Excellent, fantastic. Just to let you know, Jamie is going to be on in the first hour, so that's going to be 6 o'clock here in the UK, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So it's going to be myself and Jamie, and then that'll be time to say goodbye to Jamie and hello to Debbie for the final 2 hours, which of course, being a Thursday evening here in the UK, that's going to be a cartload. Shop ahead on the website, get across there, get your Creative Expressions by Jamie Rodgers products in the basket. Please check them out. Check your email for that Peel to Reveal code. That code is one-time use, and you've got till midnight, well, 11:59, depending where you are in the UK, to get an extra 10% off. Check out your cartload as well. Go into shop the day, but also shop the show as well. You'll see all the goodies there. Go and grab yourself a cup of tea, juice, your lunch, your breakfast, your tea, whatever it is, depending on wherever the time is. We'll see you back in an hour's time for cartload. Bye.